It's the Bennington Show with a little bit of that California sound, because that's what we're doing on GPS LA this weekend.
Yeah, GPS LA, Saturday, March 5th, 3 p.m. on Deep Tracks, Channel 27.
You know, by the way, I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Oh, hi.
You know who I think would have been perfect for that sunny LA 60 scene?
Who's that?
Chris Stanley. I mean, he's got the look, the blonde hair.
Thank you.
The volleyball body.
Yeah.
He's always talking about his longboard, you know.
I'm just a man out of time, Ron. I mean, I should have been there.
By saying a man out of time, it means you live longer than even your doctors thought. But you know, if that scene's going to be a lot of fun to do, because some of it is more about mythology than reality anyway. You know, there was a California that was kind of shown to America that may or may not have existed back then.
Yeah, it was so much of what they were selling. The producers, bands, you know, that surf rock sound was selling.
But also
this
the
idea.
look, hey, you're going to go out there and be free and peaceful and in the sun, and you're eating oranges. Move west. That's where all the opportunity is. And then you find out that they don't give black people Oscars, which was 4 hours of fucking whining last night.
I didn't hear anything about that.
Oh, it was all over the news. You should have watched it.
Oh, okay.
It was the Oscar night last night. You know, we got into this Oscars too white thing, and Chris came out and he did his monologue about it, and then it went on to the next bit, and it was about it, and then the next bit, and after a while, I get it. By the way, which black guy should have gotten the Oscar this year? I don't know if this was the year to say someone got snubbed, because I don't know who it is that got snubbed.
Yeah, I think that they fought the wrong fight at the wrong time. It wasn't the time for it.
This comes up to this. It was all Jada fucking Smith. If Will Smith would have been nominated, none of this would have come up.
You wouldn't have.
We would have it in Oscars. He wouldn't have won, and that would have been it.
Yeah, that was 100% where it came from. She was very vocal about it, and then it kept going. But what ended up happening during the actual show, I felt it was nonstop, incessant talking about it,
right? And
then it started to feel like, well, you're kind of preaching to the choir, because anybody who would have disagreed with this would have checked out an hour ago once you guys wouldn't stop bringing it up. So if you're the type of person who stuck around for that whole show, you probably didn't need convincing.
Well, and if anything, it just plays into the hands of the opposition, you know, the people that do the, you know, social justice warrior hashtags and fuck with people. You just make them look like they have a point after it got to 4 hours. You do a couple of jokes. The jokes hit. They were funny. I don't think anyone in the world has ever said that Chris Rock wasn't funny, but it just went on for 4 hours. Here's the thing, as Chris is an Oscar host. And by the way, there's already this stuff that it was the least watched Oscars in 10 years or some shit like that. But he put himself over. There's no doubt about it. You know, that he did well for himself, but he didn't do well for the people who hired him. The Oscars, it was not a night about movies.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because the movies suck these days and no one can fucking defend the fact that they don't blow, because they do. But it's supposed to be a night of celebrating art. That's why, you know, you don't give the award to Star Wars. You're attempting to give this to more important movies. If someone would point out to me where these snubs came from, I'd certainly be willing to look at them. But they were a bad year for movies to begin with. What was the African movie that the Spirit Awards gave a couple to?
Oh, it was the Idris Elba film.
Yeah, but what's the name of it? It was like Beast of something or something Beast. I don't know. I couldn't see it in New York because every single fucking theater was showing Star Wars.
Beast of No Nation. That's
right, Beast of No Nation. So I couldn't even look at that film to decide, you know, whether they had a point. But if that guy got nominated, would we all chill out? Or would everyone be saying, oh, it's just 1 out of 12? You're not fucking helping the cause. And also, there was a history made when a Spanish guy fucking won Best Director, first time in history, back to back.
Ridiculous.
And what did you do when that guy was giving his speech talking about prejudice? You started to fucking play the music.
I couldn't believe the music. I was like, wait, are they playing it? And they play it forever. The fucking music kept going.
Wanted to play the music. Play it during that fucking hack Ellen type bit that Chris Rock did about Girl Scout cookies. That was fucking embarrassing.
I don't understand. First of all, it's so shitty to be playing the guy who just won Best Director off after 20 seconds of speech, no matter what. Because
that's why we're there. He's supposedly the guy on any movie.
Yes. And then on top of that, to drive it home as though, yes, we're being sensitive to this issue, and yes, we're going to have someone from the Academy come out and address the issue during the actual show. And then when he starts to talk about racism, get
the
off
Spanish
the
guy.
Up, you Spanish dick. It was fucking terrible. I also saw that the only people that are mad about the Oscars, white people aren't mad at all. Chinese people are mad because of whatever that fucking bit I didn't understand of bringing out the Chinese kids and then saying that they make your phones.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure where he's going with that anyway.
And, you know, people were bringing up hey, let's just give Oscars let's have black categories. I think I remember hearing that on this fucking show.
Yeah, you're always coming up with the good ideas.
Yeah, I am. Where does it get us? Fucking nowhere.
Everything's parallel thinking now.
Is it?
Now, here's the problem. Next year, there's already a movie coming down the pipeline, Birth of a Nation, that everybody is saying is going to be fantastic.
Oh, it's one.
Yeah. But here's the thing. It probably, or if it is an excellent movie, everyone is going to treat it like it's just, okay, we had to give it to this movie after all the bad press from last year. So now it won't even feel deserved, even if it is deserved.
That is true.
It's so shitty.
And it's a really good point that when they do win, I know at least I'll go, are you satisfied now, Jada? Did you get what you wanted?
Or is it not Will?
Will lives matter.
Oscars, so not Will.
The only reason it went for $17.5 million was because it got screened in Sundance immediately after Jada Smith said that.
But we don't know that.
That's my point.
That's the fucking thing. That you were already saying that,
but it might
none of us have seen it.
It could be excellent, and now we'll never know what they would have thought of it.
It's tainted. No thanks.
Tainted also to you, too. Fucking people who think like you. We got to try to talk to Jermaine today because I thought of him, and we were all together at my house, and no one could look over at Gail's guy because he's from Philly, and he wanted one thing and one thing only, Rocky to get his Rocky Award. And I saw him leaning forward. I saw the look on his face. And when I heard another name, I immediately turned sideways.
It was heartbreaking.
And I felt like from that moment on, I was at an Eagles Super Bowl party. And he was saying the same shit. Like, what even do it if you're not going to give it to him? You know what I mean? This whole thing. Why do we even fucking get to the playoffs? It ends like this every year.
It was exactly the feeling. It felt more a slap in the face that he was nominated. If he wasn't nominated, you would think, oh, it just wasn't that type of performance. But because you had teased it the whole time, he had won awards leading up to this.
That was a lock. Prince of Spies cares about that movie.
Max in Tennessee.
Hey, Ronnie B. Just wanted to point out two quick things. One, your idea about the different categories for black and white was totally ripped off last night. I told my wife immediately when I saw it. I was like, I heard this last week. And
Max, I wish I was with you and your wife last night.
For many reasons.
Because everyone in my family was just going, oh my God, that's excellent. That is so funny.
He has got it.
Yeah, the other thing, there was probably only 2 non-racial jokes last night, and it was Louis C.K. had an awesome bit, and I think they laughed at the Minions. That was the only other thing that wasn't racial all night.
This is the thing about Louis C.K. It was such a welcome relief. You know what I mean? Like, what he said was amusing, and we all just went fucking crazy laughing because it just felt like some relief.
It's so good to have you here, Louis. That's exactly how it felt.
Here's how I felt. I felt like I was at a funeral, and then you're standing in the back, and some guy starts ripping Chip Kelly. You know what I mean? You're just like, oh, good.
Something else.
Yes. He's so right. It was fucking so, just a one note all night long.
They couldn't stop talking about it. I hate this hashtag.
844 Rock God, 844 Rock God. Speaking of Rock Gods, Jermaine Lassier, I'm watching last night. Commercial pops up for some movie. Big thing, Jermaine Lassier right there. Gee, baby, we went crazy at my house when we saw that.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I got a lot of tweets and stuff, and yeah, it was for Zootopia, which is the new Disney movie, and I know, Ron, you're a big animated fan, so you're going to be excited for this one.
It's so... I'm so glad to see Jon Favreau moving, ahead with his career. Just year after year, it gets better and better.
He did Jungle Book. He did the live-action Jungle Book.
Oh, I can't tell the difference, dude.
Yeah. So this is a Disney animated movie, right? By the guy who did Frozen and everything like that.
Now, you being, a nationally known reviewer now, overall, what did you think of Oscar nights?
I was disappointed in it. I mean, I thought they just went too hard on the controversy thing. Like, yeah, I think they should have hit it hard at the top, peppered it in, but every single bit, it just got really, really crazy. And it was nice that there were some surprises. Like, I really wanted Stallone to win, but Rylance taking it, and Spotlight winning was good. And I thought Chris Rock was hit or miss for most of the time. I think, I missed the very beginning of the show, but, the Stacey Dash thing was, a huge miss.
First of all, I didn't know who she was, so I was completely... I didn't get that thing because I'm not a Fox News person,
right.
And I don't remember all the fucking ninth on the list from fucking Clueless.
She was the second best friend in Clueless.
So I missed that. But yeah, she came out like Happy Black History Month. I'm like, the fuck are you mocking or what?
Yeah, she had said something not too long ago that she felt like Black History Month should be abolished.
Because every month should be celebrating black culture.
No, because she is
she's the anti-black.
Okay. Yeah, she's
yeah.
Talk about
race
missing shit, huh?
He really didn't get it. But yeah, because I think that people have such a problem with her, they couldn't even think it was funny that she was there. So then she walked out to silence and then left to silence. So the whole joke just landed really
After
flat.
doing a ha-ha, you know what I mean? You're like, you're gonna love. Yeah, I don't get it. But it also wasn't a celebration of movies last night. And I know that Chris Rock likes movies. You know what I mean? I know that he's a movie fan. The only real big song of the night had to do with college rape, which again takes a little bit of the air out of the room.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an important thing, but
for that to be the
Oscars.
big song.
Yeah, and the big funny bit was Chris Rock selling Girl Scout cookies, but didn't Ellen do that 2 years ago?
It was an Ellen bit. It was fucking beneath him.
Yeah.
And you know what? Again, we're running late. He has the balls to say when that bit went on and on.
I had to turn away. I couldn't believe what was happening. I was like, what is he talking about?
Three different breaks he had come back bringing up the Girl Scout cookies. First he set it up, then they were out in the audience, then they came back. I want to thank again the Girl Scouts for coming out. I was like, what, again?
Was there, and I always, I forgot to check today, but was anybody missed in the in memoriam? Because there's always somebody who's left out that everybody's mad about the next day.
I think there might have been one.
I think it was Abe Vigoda.
That's who it was. Abe Vigoda.
They've done nothing but salutes to death. By the way, I'll text this to his family now. It was business. It's not personal. I always liked you.
Now, even the Bowie moment during that, I thought, why can Americans keep missing Bowie tributes? That they just ended up using the line from Zoolander instead of like.
To me, that was his best thing that he ever did.
I was like, come on.
So, all in all, it wasn't the best Oscars of all time. Chris Rock is an amazingly funny guy, but the night is supposed to be about movies. And what were we missing? What was the big black person who was overlooked this year, G-Baby?
I mean, I think it was anybody from Beast of No Nation, the Netflix movie with Idris Elba and the kid, I forget his name, who won the Spirit Award, and he did the documentary short with Tremblay. And then Michael B. Jordan for Creed would have been one, or Ryan Coogler for Creed.
Coogler, yeah. That's the only one I could think of that. And
then Straight Outta Compton. I mean, which personally I think is a great movie, but I don't think it's Oscar quality. I don't
think it's Oscar quality either. I think that film was a better subject than it was movie. Like, yeah. I never found myself lost in that movie. I found myself thinking, oh fuck, I forgot that guy was around in that scene. You know, oh shit, that's amazing. That's when Snoop showed up and stuff like that. But I never was thrown away feeling like I was in the 80s in Compton's. Like when you're in a really good movie, it just, you go into a kind of subconscious state.
Yeah.
I just felt like I was looking at stuff that reminded me of other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And I think you guys made a great point too. It's like, I haven't seen The Birth of a Nation yet, but next year when that gets nominated and gets all these awards, is it because it's good, or is it because now they are going to, go back the other way? And now it just creates this really weird space. And I hope this is obviously a conversation that's worth having and something that needs to be addressed, but I hope it doesn't dominate the show every single year now. Because what happens now if Nate Parker gets nominated next year for Best Actor and he's the only one, is that's going to be bad. People are going to say he's like, something else. And the whole thing.
Well, there was even a thing of Chris saying, look, Leo gets great parts every year, black people don't. Like 99.999% of fucking white people don't get great parts. There's 2 or 3 guys every generation who turned out to be De Niro or Pacino or whatever. And there's very few of those guys even today.
You also picked a guy who has been a phenomenal actor since he was a kid and has never won an award until tonight. You're also talking about that person, and then I think immediately coming back and saying, and Jamie Foxx should have those roles. I'm not sure those two at their level are comparable.
But things have changed so much that we don't even we're out of even the movie star era. Like, you look at some of these guys, like Christian Bale is a perfect example. If he puts on the bat suit, the thing is a gigantic movie. If he doesn't, it's a small film.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I would say Robert Downey Jr. right now is a legitimate movie star. Iron Man is a fucking legitimate movie star,
Right.
I think it's Tom Cruise. Is Tom Cruise the only movie star? I mean, he can open a movie still, pretty much. I mean,
and that's been since the 80s. I mean, to look at the new generation of Tom Cruise is in his late 50s. Is there a guy who was where Tom Cruise was when Tom Cruise was 30?
No, I don't think that there is.
I mean, it's not Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling is an actor, not necessarily a big movie star.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like Affleck and Damon are great, but they sort of branch out and they can't open a movie by themselves, really. I mean, The Martian's a good movie, but that wasn't a Matt Damon movie. It was a Matt Damon, Ridley Scott movie based on a really popular book. So you can't give him the credit for that. Yeah, you're right. There's really nobody. There's a lot of great actors, and a lot of famous people and talented people and people you turn out to see, but there's no guy that you're going to see no matter what. I mean, it might be Leo. I mean, The Revenant made $150 million or something, and that's a 3-hour movie about a guy crawling on the ground.
Yeah, you're right. He is probably you've got to put Leo in with Brad Pitt and all them, but these aren't guys. The thing is, they're not guys that can open a bad movie and have it go big the way John Wayne could, right?
Yeah.
John Wayne was not fucking good. And people showed up to see those movies year in, year out.
Yeah.
Leo's got to be in a good movie, and he's a good actor, and it's all got to work. But people just aren't going to be going like, I trust them, I'm off to see him. If you're going to go like that, Adam Sandler probably was that guy for a lot of years. They brought up Kevin Hart last night. Kevin Hart is a guy that goes out, puts out movies. They're not great, but he gets more people there than if Kevin Hart wasn't in the movie.
Right. People go to see it because they know he's going to be in it and they know what to expect.
Yeah, no, he's a good call. I think a lot of it, like Leo or Johnny Depp or any of these guys, they don't have to do as many movies as maybe John Wayne did because they're getting paid so much more. They can afford to be very, very choosy, and I think that probably has a lot to do with it.
I don't know if I would include, Johnny Depp anymore into that.
No, after
right.
Pirates, no. I mean, the movies he's putting out are just insane. And he's going back to Pirates, because that's the only thing.
I would.
Yeah.
Did you see the movie he did when he played Whitey Bulger?
No, I didn't see it.
I thought that he was better than the movie. You know what I mean?
Just him acting as that fucking crazy bastard.
Yeah, but the plot of the movie was just a collection of scenes, It's hard to make a good movie these days. I don't know. Maybe when we get Trump in there, we'll do better. I don't know.
He'll make Hollywood great again.
I hope so.
They're going to win again.
They're not winning anymore.
The way the internet freaked out over Leo winning this Oscar, it's fucking blown my mind. I didn't know everyone cared so much about him getting this Oscar.
What?
It was like on Reddit last night, it was like the number one post of all time in the history of the fucking website. People just saying like, yes.
Leo as an actor is the same exact age as social media. You know what I mean? Like, he was the mid-90s AOL guy, and he's the one that's still there now.
Yeah, he's maintained. But every year there has always been a ton of memes and stuff that kind of surround the fact that he's always loose. So I feel like this was the big payoff and everybody was waiting for it.
I'm glad that he talked about solar power.
I like that he's such a contrarian. He's like, everyone else is going to talk about race, but let me throw.
You're all going to burn up. Whites, blacks, Asians, gays.
What does it matter?
Transgenders. It really is a weird fucking thing that Jada Pinkett really took over the night.
Yeah.
It was all her.
She did it.
Yep.
She has to be real proud of herself.
Well, she's doing great work in Gotham, so she should get an award for that.
I loved
Magic Mike XXL too.
I loved Chris Rock's thing of saying you weren't really invited anyway.
I know. For him to turn it around that way was also funny.
He's like, I agree with her, but while I agree with her, I'm going to bash her for a little while.
By the way, I'd like to take a look back to see if the woman who made the shit cake and the shit pie deserved an Oscar. She got one, and I didn't get that fucking movie at all.
No, and she hasn't done anything with it either.
Well, there was that, and then there was the one about something bees. There were a few of those.
The bees?
Something about bees. I can't remember. There was
movie, the Seinfeld movie.
That shit got an Oscar.
It did my heart.
But there was always that thing where you're like, really? I know, again, it's an important, 12 Years a Slave. Important subject, sure. Good movie? No. Put it on the fucking History Channel.
Exactly. That sometimes, and this goes with sort of any historical film, that sometimes I feel like
the movie Lincoln blows.
Exactly. That I feel like that people feel the need that they have to throw an award at something because it's an important idea as opposed to an important film.
That's what happened with the Oscars. You kind of knew Spotlight probably would win because look what it's about.
Exactly.
And that's what they're trying to say. Hey, we don't just make popcorn. We make some important movies too.
And that's what makes the fight kind of misguided because the focus was put on who's invited to the awards and who gets a trophy instead of the idea of looking at the system as a whole, looking at what kind of movies studios greenlight and why. It became about these awards. And I think the truth of it is right now in TV and Netflix series and things like that, you're having more interesting roles for people of color, more interesting roles for women, more interesting roles for transgender. It's like that. I think that they should look at, say, why is the Hollywood system outdated where
because the Hollywood system is forced to make blockbusters or people get fired. You know, when he got up and said, you know, hey, Hollywood is racist. Look at any movie that Hollywood's ever made about Hollywood, and they rip themselves apart. They know that they're shallow, fearful, bad people trying to keep their jobs. They've told us that for years, you know?
And they love to give awards to those movies.
yeah, they love it.
Look, we know where we are.
One of my favorite things, too, is Chris Rock said that Louis was from Horse and Pete. And that fucking cracked me up.
Horse and Pete.
Oh, what a relief Louis C.K. was last year. First of all, he just locked down that they're going to ask him to do the fucking Oscars within the next 2-3 years. He locked it. It's his. Then he's just going to be Louis anyway. Did you see Trumbo, G Baby?
Trumbo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was incredibly boring. I mean, you talked about Lincoln and 12 Years a Slave, which I like, but I feel like Trumbo is that one where it's like amazing cast, amazing story, a snooze fest of a movie.
But wasn't it funny that Louis didn't even act like he was in a period piece? He just acted like fucking Louis.
Did they even mention that too? That's right. He's in an Oscar-nominated movie. I didn't even think about that. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, that was another important topic, you know?
Right.
But if you watched that movie, about halfway through, they forgot about the communist thing at all. And it was just about the joy of writing movies and getting rewarded for it.
Right.
But fucking blacklist.
You know, that's the exact reason that in the past we've looked at it. Why don't comedies get nominated, or even different genres like horror, things like that. Like the reason is because they're so busy wondering what is the most important subject and not what is the best film.
It's true.
And they're not, they usually don't give any attention to comedy because it doesn't usually have a heavy message attached to it.
Wasn't it funny, though, to see all those Aussies fucking half drunk getting their awards last night?
Loving it.
For the Mad Max.
Loving it.
Yeah. Just screaming shit out. One guy's taking the Oscar and acting like he's jerking it off. I get my fucking dick! I'm coming all over you! It's fucking great.
You thought for 1 minute that George Miller was going to win Best Director, maybe, and then of course now they give it to Inarritu, who won last year, and then it's just, no, he didn't win the year before. He's won 3. It's he has won 3, hasn't he? That's insane.
Well, not as director. Has he won 3?
No, I think last year was his first.
No, you're right. Cinematographer. His cinematographer has won 3 in a row for Gravity, Birdman, and then this.
Wow, that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Although that to me was like a total lock because that film was so like overwhelmingly pretty.
Yeah.
It maybe you might not like that movie. It might not be for you, but you can't deny how it's like crazy beautiful.
It always annoys me because I can't even take a decent fucking picture with my phone. And I would love to be a photographer. You know what I mean? Like, it just looks like, that kind of detail work, but I just snap it real fast.
Blurry
it's just always blurry.
That's good.
Yeah. Got it.
It looked so good in the lens. I'm sure it worked out.
All in all, the big news of the entire night was Jermaine Lassier's name popping up nationwide during a show that 70 million people are watching.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Congratulations, G Baby.
Thanks, guys, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.
All right, we'll see you next year for Birth of a Nation.
Perfect.
Take care. Bye.
Bye, G Baby.
Well, why? Seriously, that fucking annoys me so much.
Yeah,
but it isn't funny. It's weird and peculiar, and you do it on purpose.
I just want to let you know.
But why? It's only done to fucking annoy you.
I thought that you started doing it as mocking me because I say goodbye to people when they get off the phone. So I've just been assuming it was a mock.
Not at all. No, I want to let them know that I care about them.
I think that he did it once, and I laughed at him. And his fucking sense of humor is do the same thing over and over,
Bye,
like
Jeffrey.
a pesky fucking asshole. 844 Rock God, 844 Rock God. Hey, Sean in Minnesota.
Yep.
What
Way
up?
to go, Ronnie.
Hey, what's happening?
Chris Stanley, you're the shit, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
So, did anyone notice that in the memoriam, they only listed one black gentleman that died, and his last name was White?
You're nitpicking now, Sean.
Conspiracy.
You're nitpicking at this point.
Well, I'm just saying, who put that thing together? You know, I mean, with all the issues.
Well, we
that
can't
they brought,
help it if not enough black people died this year.
I think that would make it worse. We just started purposefully killing black people to make sure they're well represented.
If that was the only place that they put up black people and they were just putting funny names up, would have been great. The piece is up on the iBang about how Twitter, the comedy community, just went mad crazy for Chris Rock. And then that amazing picture at the bottom that Mindy did. I guess that's from Creek in the Cave.
Yeah, it's from the Creek.
Yeah, Mindy Tucker is a great photographer, and it's just such a great moment that she captured, like, everyone's faces as they're laughing at Chris Rock's monologue, I think it was.
It's almost like they're set up. Like, I just told around the set I couldn't take a picture, and it looks like she placed them places. There's all different laughs that have taken place, and it looks like it was taken in 1960 when people were waiting for the results for JFK's election.
It does. It's a very classic look. Everyone looks great. It has, like, that really sweet, happy look about it.
It's great. That's a great picture. But a lot of the comedians, of course, the screen is way over there, so I can't see it, but some of the names of the people that were giving huge props to him, just go through them real fast.
W. Kamau Bell, David Allen Greer, Jim Norton, Andy Kindler, Mike Lawrence, Rain Pryor, Chris Hardwick, Sam Tripoli, Jen Kirkman, Chelsea Handler, Joel McHale, Mateo Lane, Tammy Pescatelli, Todd Barry, Jacqueline Novak, Charlemagne, Jamie Kennedy, Liza Schlesinger, Mike Shoemaker, Brooks Whelan, Amanda Seales, Harry Shearer, Roseanne Barr.
It's, at a certain point, you got to say what he had to do last night from a monologue point of view. Really difficult thing. I think we all kind of enjoyed the first 5 minutes. I just thought that it weakened it by going on for 4 hours.
Yeah, I think even as much as I think the smart idea would have been maybe cut that monologue in half and change the subject matter a little, even if it had just been that one monologue, I think it still would have stood strong on its own. But it was not only him, it was other people who came out.
Now all of a sudden there's a whoopee fucking like mop thing, which, by the way, Tracy Morgan killed.
I'm the
Danish girl.
I'm the Danish girl.
Eating this Danish. It's fucking hilarious.
He still has to do it like Brian Fellows. I'm the Danish girl. Yeah, he killed. That was...
this is names that Chris couldn't read off a list. Amy Schumer, Bonnie McFarlane, Ellen, Paul Mooney. Everybody was loving on Chris last night. It's up on the iBang, though, if you want to go and check it out. North of America just tweeted to us, best monologue ever. We laughed pretty much throughout the monologue. Pogue wants to know where Kashmir stands on these boots here. I'm sure that he probably Is Kashmir in today?
Kashmir is not in
Not
today.
his day today?
But when he is, I will run those by him.
Okay, good. That's good news for everybody. The hotline's banging up. Is it the boss saying move on? That's enough of that. Trying to do a deal right now with them. Oh, it's Hard Rock Johnny. Johnny, how are you?
Good, Benningtons.
Hey.
The In Memoriam, I know they said there was only one black person, but the song was Blackbird. So, I mean, made up for it a little bit, maybe?
That's racism again and tied in with the Manson family and...
My highlight was Eddie Trunk complaining about why they had to bring Dave Grohl out to sing because he's the only rock guy that they know. I guess he expected like Slash or like, I don't know, someone else to come out.
It is Dave Grohl's world. And the thing is, Dave Grohl will show up sober and make it about the show and not himself.
He's great. I mean, I would guarantee you that most the older people wouldn't even know who he was. He just was like a guy playing guitar really well.
Look, please tell Ed Trunk everything can't be a salute to the Ace of Spades. It can't go on like that forever. Did you enjoy the ceremony last night, Johnny?
It was good. good. There was some really bizarre, like the Sarah Silverman rambling in that weird dress was just bizarre to me about James Bond not being a grower or a shower. Like, I
didn't understand it, but this is the first time that she didn't showcase the tits. You know, that's normally her awards thing.
Yeah.
Is almost nipple showing. And I think that's a mistake. I think she's got to get the tits exposed.
You know, you got to know your look.
Also, did you notice some of the bad direction where there would just be a weird camera thing?
Yeah, there was a lot of that where they would cut to just like the back of a chair or something like that. It seemed like they were having a rough night.
There were like 2 or 3 of those shots that were just bizarro, that were like I couldn't figure out where they were trying to like show something.
They should have booked that Grease Live director.
I would love that, dude.
I feel bad if this was the guy's first time directing it. Glenn Weiss, who's the really well-known director. He does the Tony Awards every year. Like he's a
well, you know what? Stick with theater, my friend, because you're not ready for the big stage.
Yeah, it was a little rough, I think. But and they also forgot Jeffrey Lewis. Juliette Lewis's father died. He was left off the in memoriam.
I didn't know that.
Oh.
See, there's always somebody left off that causes a little problem.
And I think Chris Rock threw a line not a lot of people caught when he talked about Charlize Theron. He said the whitest person, but she's South African.
Well, you can be white.
Right. She's the most African person there.
Huh?
And he kind of threw it there, but I don't think a lot of people caught it.
Well, you got to deliver it, too, before anybody's going to catch. You know what I mean? It's got to be in the strike zone. You know? Once the catcher, to me, once the fucking catcher is up out of his crouch, the error is on the pitcher. Every fucking time. You know? All in all, you know, it was just a night. You know, they like to say the movie's Super Bowl. Not every Super Bowl is a good one, you know?
Yeah, this was not a strong show.
But I think we feel like that after every Oscar. We always are like, that should have been better, you know?
Good point. But have you ever been like, wow, what a night of the Oscars? I felt bad that the little kid from The Room didn't win everything, and I've never even seen The Room. But he is just that little kid he's the little kid of the moment. I think maybe one of the cutest moments of the night was when the Star Wars characters came out and they cut to the kid from The Room and he's getting up off of his chair and trying to be like, okay, now there's something for me. Like he looked so excited.
Star Wars robots.
Because that's the kind of corny shit that when you're watching it, you're like, what's the point? Who is this even for? And you're like, oh, that's who it's for. Like that kid is so psyched right now.
You know, I feel like that even the fact that they put the Minions on late in the show and people are like, what is this, a kid show? And I'm like, the kids have went to bed. The problem with America is this is adults material. Adults like the Minions.
More than children, probably.
Oh, we didn't even bring up Ollie G coming out and being so inappropriate.
Oh my God.
He was great.
That was my favorite part of the night.
You know what that was? That was my Eastside David the Shorties moment. Where I'm laughing, but I know it's wrong. You know, I'm just like, I don't know how long this is going to go on. Yo, those little yellow guys, their little yellow penises.
My brethren. Jesus.
You're well fit.
You're well fit.
And the best is they have him introduce Room. Like, that was like, he comes out and does that gimmick
What
for
was it,
Room.
white people in a room?
Check out these white people in a room.
And who was that with? Was that Olivia Munn that was with him?
Olivia Wilde.
Okay,
One of
I
the
get them all
Olivias.
fucking confused. Yeah. She never cracked a smile, which would have been impossible for me. But she wasn't going down with... She was like Mike Myers standing next to Kanye.
She didn't say a word.
This was your motherfucking shit, dude. You ride it out. I'm standing here. You saw that I didn't fucking laugh. All right, thanks, Johnny.
Later, Bennington.
Talk to you later.
Man, there was one Chris Rock joke. I think it was when he was really going after Jada and kind of mocking her thing. And they, you know, because you could see some people are unsure if it's okay for them to laugh at certain jokes.
You want to only laugh at white people.
Right. And then they cut to Sophia, whatever her name is, from Modern Family, when he's ripping Jada. And she's like in full belly laugh and clapping.
That's
she's just
fucking
like
hilarious.
enjoying the shit out of it. She was going for it. You could see everyone else is like, I'm not sure. Just don't cut to me during this joke.
Never give me a close-up. Up on the iBang, this is kind of good. It's Aaron Rodgers looking awkward on the red carpet. Now, who's his chick?
Olivia Munn.
So that was the one that we were talking about?
No,
No, that's a different one.
I can't fucking keep up,
The
man.
other Olivia's with Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah. And she was in that time travel movie with Tom Cruise, Edge of Tomorrow.
Which one?
The one where he kept going back in time, kept looking at the time.
I understand that. Which Olivia, you dumb fuck?
Olivia Wilde.
All right, who am I looking at now that's with Aaron Rodgers?
Olivia Munn.
Fuck, I can't follow it. So they're calling her over to the red carpet. Just hit it, please. And you can see that Aaron Rodgers doesn't know what fuck to do. And why wouldn't you call them both? I know why. Because you don't know who fucking sports people are.
Oh, God.
Just pacing.
Is there anything worse when they don't know who the person is with or who
what
they're
did they
talking?
do? They said, "Is that your dad?" last night.
Okay, so she's talking to the girl from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And the girl from Brooklyn is, giving her whatever. Yes, I'm excited to be here. Yes, this is a big deal. Yes, I'm wearing green. And she turns and sees someone she knows and she lights up and says, oh, there you are. And she's like, is that your dad? And it was not. It was like the screenwriter.
It's Nick Hornby, who's one of the most famous fucking writers on the planet. And it's like, oh, shit. And you can see that's like woman from Good Morning America.
Yeah.
Where they don't know who they're just given questions to ask
exactly.
people.
She knows nothing. And then her way of getting out was just live TV, guys. What are you going to do?
Yeah, but you're the dumb person on live TV. It's not like something happened to you.
They did nothing
on
wrong.
live TV. You put up a video too, Gail, that two dudes, real skaters, have done the Blades of Glory piece.
Yes.
And I was watching it, and I was like, why? I think I would watch shit like this in the Winter Olympics if they did it.
I know. I wish that they
go about halfway through, or somewhere around that.
And they're in full costume,
they're in
too.
full costume. They're doing the music, if we had the music up.
But you can see that they're having so much fun doing it.
Now, is this laughing at gayness more than anything? This is really a day we need a cashmere.
That was, I mean, that's kind of the premise, was that they were two male ice dancers, figure skaters dancing together. But they're fully committed to Blades of Glory. Because the best thing about this is that they actually really had to work on this routine.
You know what's funny is Blades of Glory is one of those ones that didn't land and people will hate it. And I like it as much as anything Will Ferrell's ever done.
Yeah, it was very funny. It's strange when, who knows why, whatever particular reason, they're going to love
I got to be honest here, I did see it on a plane. So that might have made me laugh.
That does make you enjoy a film
but
more.
I did fucking grab the stewardess and fucking yell, "Thank you for this, best movie ever." And I tried to kiss her. It's really fucking funny, though. Now, did you see the movie, Chris?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, it was funny.
Why did everyone hate that one? Did it just was too many in a row?
I think it was people got fatigue.
I did see the two movies that they're down on him about is this ice skating movie and the basketball movie, and I fucking love both of those.
That basketball movie.
Wait, what was the basketball movie?
With the they did the something in Michigan Tropics or something.
I never saw it.
Dude,
It's
go home and
fucking
watch
funny.
it tonight. I don't know the name of it.
Semi-pro.
No, it's super bad.
Oh shit.
That's good. He's so funny in that I didn't even recognize him.
Weird.
Because he was short and young and fat. No, I think it's fucking hilarious, and it's all 70s jokes, which always
great.
Right.
Anything with open collars always makes me laugh.
Now, who's his co-star in that? Does he have any big...
Andre 3000 and
Andre
Okay.
3000 is fucking great in it. Andre 3000 is supposedly the first over-the-top black basketball player.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. It's basically Anchorman, but he's playing basketball. It's funny as fuck.
Yeah, that seems like there's no reason that wouldn't be a hit. Why would it not be a hit?
Because I think sometimes these come in like, oh man, another one of these.
Right.
You know, and you're just like, is he in another sport? You're like, yeah.
That's
and
what he does.
It's fucking great.
It's ABA. It's going to be awesome.
And for Blades of Glory, I'm not sure they were ready to give that Napoleon Dynamite another go.
Yeah, you're right. People hate them in Napoleon Dynamite after they loved them.
Yeah.
They loved him for no reason.
They exalted him. And
I will admit, he's the worst thing in Blades of Glory. You know?
God, yes. Still, Farrell calls
But
him
who
up.
are their nemesis in that?
Shit.
It's Amy Poehler and her
Will
then
Arnett.
husband, Will Arnett. And they were fucking hilarious. So yeah, that is an underappreciated comedy.
yeah, it was super funny. There's no reason that it wouldn't have been.
I picked both of those over Step Brothers. Both of those films.
Yeah.
And people love Step Brothers.
Yeah, I've seen Step Brothers once.
You don't like it?
I mean, it's okay. I mean, you know, those guys are funny, but I'd rather watch Semi-Pro more than between them.
I like, you know what? If you're going to get into a concept comedy, do a high concept comedy.
Real crazy.
You know, yeah. Like make everyone bullfighters. So let's go on from there. One of the reasons why I love Baskets is doesn't make any sense that he's a fucking clown like that. And by the way, he's never hurting after having a bull run into him.
Never.
Boy, this week's Baskets was kind of a little bit sad.
I have to catch up on this one because the one before that was so good.
This one was good too. They're all good.
Yeah, they've been great. I love having a good show.
I know. Love when something doesn't disappoint you. Right up until the second it does.
And that's the worst feeling.
You know
Damn you, I loved you.
You know what show has disappointed me most of all, though? This one. The one that I'm in.
No!
This show's really let me down. I think Joe sucks. Chris keeps repeating that same bit.
So true.
Which seems like it's anti-gay to me.
It's not anti-gay.
It's something like a gay guy would
It's
say.
showing
Yeah.
affection for friends, platonically.
Bye, Jermaine.
Yeah, when you go, bye, Jermaine, I feel like you're making fun of gay people.
I am not. Love gay people.
Now, by the way, we brought this up that the artist formerly known as Anthony should have been there. No one has written about it. What a fuck. And all the time of pretend fucking transgender people.
I know.
And yeah, I mean, Caitlyn Jenner. Anthony is one of the greatest singers on the planet Earth. And to hurt her feelings when she just got this new name.
I know. God, she's the absolute best. And if you want to be inclusive in any way, you want to be there on the ground floor, bring her in, please.
All right, thank you. I saw her, was it like 2 years ago? And it was like that crazy show that they did on the Upper East Side.
I saw it as well with the Artist is Present chick, right?
Yeah. Her and the actor,
Willem
Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
Now you say that, and you would think, well, this must have been one of the nuttiest, terriblest, and craziest shows ever. It was nutty, it was crazy, but it was fucking spectacular. They had done a show in that place where I thought that I was high by the end of it.
It was so, yeah.
I felt like I was higher in China. Like, how could they even afford to do this?
It was crazy. Willem Dafoe was so good, and she was so good. Marina, I think,
Abramowitz.
Yeah. She was excellent. But I thought that Anthony, artist formerly known as Anthony,
Stole the Night.
Yeah.
I don't know. They were all great in their own way. I wouldn't even say Steal the Night. But his singing, at the time he was a he, destroyed me. But, you know, whoever directed that and put that whole thing together, I'm like, how can I even afford that? And then I remember, oh, I know. I'm paying $350 and I'm sitting on a football bench.
It was crazy. It was very expensive.
But seriously, like normally that I feel like I'm taking advantage of, but that was the same as if you went away for the weekend.
It really was.
It left me with the same kind of buzz that if I would have went to the islands.
I was there with my men and we're sitting there just waiting for it to start. And we're like, hey, I really hope this is good. Let's set us back a bit.
More than I wanted to spend on entertainment.
I'm like, I was really worried that I was I set myself up for failure or set myself up to be disappointed. But it was incredible. And just being in the room with Anthony and her voice at that, just be in the same room where she's singing it's crazy.
People have written in that Ava Goda wasn't snubbed because he died this year. But then they said, but so was Bowie, who was mentioned.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that what they normally do, it's not the calendar year that they go by, but up until the very moment of the Oscars, I feel in the past they have always included people who passed in January and February.
They just hate Ava Goda.
Yeah.
How do you forget about that guy?
I know. Of everyone. Abe first.
He's been here longer than anybody.
And he's had so many false alarms.
That's crazy. Well, I guess we'll get into this real quick before we move on. The end of the Oscars, there were mistaken red carpet IDs, not the one that we were just talking about. Where is this your dad?
God.
No, it's the famous Nick Hornby. But Chris, you saw one that you were telling me about today that I didn't see this at all.
All right, so Total Beauty thought that Whoopi Goldberg was Oprah.
Oh, no.
They tweeted. Yeah.
Now, we were out smoking, and he told me this story so funny that I laughed out loud while I'm smoking. And the way he limps into it here, as if he's not sure what happened, and he's reading it. What exactly did they say?
Total Beauty tweeted out, we had no idea at Oprah was hashtag tatted, and we love it. Hashtag Oscars as a picture of Whoopi Goldberg.
Now,
First
see,
of all,
you're cringing. That's how it was when he told me it. I cringed as if I was the person who was in charge of TotalBeauty.com.
Okay, first of all, even if you're unsure, which why are you running this Twitter account if you're unsure? But maybe the tats should have said, it doesn't seem like Oprah would have tats. Maybe you should then Google that just to be sure.
You're just like literally when people are kind of offhandedly and they made a mistake and they get accused of racism, I always stick up for that person. But this has got to be flat out racist.
This is horrible.
Because these are two very famous women, and because they're both large and black, you're just like, that's Oprah! Look, love your show.
Who knew Monique had tats?
That's really fucked up, though.
Total
and
Beauty
hilarious.
so white.
And Whoopi did get big. But Whoopi, unfortunately, was one of those persons that was very thin when she broke. Very fucking thin. But I was even looking at Leo last night, and he's a middle-aged man now. But when he played that retarded boy, he was so thin. Remember when he was shivering in the bathtub?
Oh,
he was skinny as shit.
He was a thin young man.
Yeah.
Now
So now if there's a picture of him at the beach in his shorts, he looks like everybody's dad. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Is that a punch?
The same thing that happened to your dad. That's what happened to Leo.
Listen,
he's no different than any other human.
He's got dad bod. Okay? What are you going to do? He's got a lot of face now.
Yeah. Well, he was really round-headed last night. And I'm fucking sure the worst part of his night is when Rocky didn't get the award. He went, those motherfuckers. I know this is coming to me, too. Fuck me! He just turned around to his mom. Mom, I brought you here 6 fucking times, and it's going to happen again. Look at Rocky trying to act like he's not crying. Vito, that must have destroyed you because you've been nothing but a Creed fan.
It was one of the worst. It felt like the Mets World Series all over again.
It's been a hard year for you.
So unexpected.
When they said Bridge of Spies, they didn't even say Tom Hardy and The Revenant. They said the one movie nobody was talking about and nobody's seen. I flipped out. I was screaming. My mom came in my room and was like, why are you so mad?
You don't understand, Mom.
He deserved this.
Mindy Tucker retweeted the thing. Everybody go over and follow that tweet that went out from the iBank, too.
Love Mindy Tucker. She's the best.
She's the best.
She's so super talented.
She really is. She's like the New York comedy community's own little Annie Leibovitz.
And that's a cool thing to be.
You know what? Annie Leibovitz was little too, so I shouldn't say that. They're both little. But that picture slays me.
Yeah.
Only because I couldn't do that if I had months and years to do it, which really sounds like an obnoxious thing to say because she's doing photography constantly.
Right. But it's just like the most candid, wonderful picture. It actually looks like the whole thing was set up, like
I know.
between like the clapping and the laughing and like the lighting. It's just very
The
well
only thing that would
composed.
make me feel better about this if the caption was that these comedians were all listening to the Bennington show. And then that would easily become my favorite photograph of all time. And we got a break here. We got Emma Willman coming in next.
Just a few moments, yeah.
She's not here yet?
She's very close, is what she texted me.
I don't know why you're stressed and never upfront about it, but you act like you could get in trouble. We're not on a hard thing here today.
No.
Although her show runs right after ours today.
Tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Oh, tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, then we have time. Doesn't even matter about a thing.
Yeah.
But you get very tense if someone, it's the only time that he gets weird like that. Like, oh.
I'm not here yet.
When I just see him looking at his phone a lot and just hitting it, like refreshing, where are they? And I'm like, he's tense. And the fact that you fucking made me laugh so hard downstairs with the way you set it up, with no pressure, just me and him. Because I thought it was hilarious to be called Oprah for any fucking reason.
Oprah, especially in the context of didn't know Oprah has tats.
Just this big giant shoulder sleeve.
She doesn't.
Love her even more now.
She's cooler than I thought.
Dreads. Oprah must have been so happy watching Chris Rock. Like, this is probably Oprah. Go, child. That's it, child. Make them understand. And the thing is, my thing of Chris Rock, I thought he was very funny, but you didn't enlighten anyone. If anyone disagrees with you, they disagree with you more today.
Yeah.
The fucking anti-social justice warriors. Like, I'm not just saying that I was following Ant's fucking Twitter last night, but of course I was, because I knew it was going to frustrate him.
All he did was feed the trolls. He just gave them exactly what they wanted.
You're calling my friend Ann a troll now?
I'm not calling Ann a troll. No.
I certainly don't think that if you disagree, I don't think that if you're conservative about these things, that you're a troll. And quite frankly, my disagreement was this year, there weren't a lot of good movies or any real good movies. As a matter of fact, I don't know what we even said. Did we say what our own favorite was? It Ex Machina was our favorite movie?
I think it was between us. It was like Ex Machina and Hateful Eight. Those are the movies. That's everything we named.
Well, that is true.
Yeah.
And The Revenant was just a fucking shitty movie.
Well, I disagree. I saw it this weekend.
I don't like bear rape.
I know. That was the only part that really... rape scenes are hard for me, so I was really freaked out.
Like Lady Gaga.
Despite the fact that he's never unclothed in that scene and somehow a bear rapes him, I'm not really sure.
But Lady Gaga was even on the red carpet, and I just turn around and I just hear, one out of every 40...
Right.
1 out of every 4 women are raped at college. And like, if you were sending your kid away to school, you're like, what the fuck did she just say?
It's a rape factory?
I'm not fucking paying $45,000 a year for this. All right, let's break. And Emma's very close. I'm doing the best I can to get her up here. This is the Bennington Show.
We're back with Bennington, and we've got Emma Willman in studio. Check Spot with Emma Willman premieres tomorrow at 3 p.m. on Raw Dog. Go to emmacomedy.com for her stand-up dates and follow her on Twitter at Emma Willman.
You know, the last time Emma was in here, the show ends, we have a great time, and I noticed the bosses just swarm you after the show, and I'm like, why?
The bosses?
The bosses come in.
Oh, the bosses. Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, what is going on? How, and they offer you this gig.
Yes, thank you so much.
I didn't even know. Did that just come out of nowhere?
No, this is what it was. So do you guys know Aaron Hodges? Of course.
Yeah, I remember when he used to work here.
Yeah. News for Aaron. So Aaron Hodges is awesome, producer, everything. And I met him at the comedy festival in South Beach.
Oh yeah, last year.
And we met there, and him and I got to do an interview there, which is one of my best interviews I've ever done in my life. He interviewed me, and while he was doing the interview, he had someone assisting him, and I got this was one of the funniest questions I've ever been asked. The guy who was assisting the interview was super nice, trying to be super cool. He was trying to ask if I was gay. But he asked like this. He goes, so, just from reading your body language and talking to you, I take it you're not heavy into the dick.
Subtle.
Yeah, it is subtle.
And Aaron and I were like, and so we took it from there. So Aaron and I kind of became friends at that. Aaron came up with the idea for the check box. He was like, I'm looking to feature new people on the channel. You're kind of out in the trenches. Like, I'd love to see who you think would be a good fit. So we started talking from that, and then we recorded a demo for it. And Aaron was kind of pushing this through in a pretty quick timeline. And he told the VP of programming that I was going to be on your show. I didn't even know that guy, the Don, was going to come watch, but he did when I was on your show, and that just timing wise worked out great, because then afterwards he was like, yeah, let's keep pushing forward with this.
Yeah, that was locked in. I mean, he was swarming. I'm like, well, this is cool. So explain check spot. We're trying to understand it.
So this is what it is. So, when you're in a club, and I think that a check spot might be a New York thing. Is that correct?
I believe it's only a New York thing, because most people have headliners. It's not a showcase. It's not an 18 comics a night deal.
Yeah. So in New York, what a lot of the clubs will do is when the club is dropping the checks, they'll put a new act up. Like maybe it's someone who comes to the open mics a lot, or someone who's in at the club recommends a new guy, and they're like, we'll try him out on the check spot. So traditionally for comics, it's almost like this is going to be a hard spot, but it's still good because you're getting in at a club. Right. So this is like the raw dog equivalent of that, in that we're featuring, it's a much nicer than having to perform while people are paying their checks, but we'll feature new people, and then from the show, hopefully they'll go into rotation. So that's that's kind of the premise.
So I saw your promo for it too. You're honestly looking for people who've never been on Sirius before. Yeah.
You could be at any level of your career. So this could be we have gotten so many submissions. So it could be, if it's good audio and you feel it's a good joke, you could send it, perform it. It could be something you did at an open mic. Ideally, the better audio and better clip helps us showcase it, but you could be a veteran who just hasn't been on the channel, or someone totally new.
So this is excellent. This is for people who this is their first kind of break. This is for people.
Could be.
Cool.
See, I said the opposite. I said if you want to get on Raw Dog, 2 comedy specials, 3 albums. Then we take a look at you. Right. Right now, we've got our eye on Louis C.K. and I think
he's going somewhere.
I think he's going to be big. Actually,
I honestly think it could
you should
work
break
for
him here.
Yeah. I just said no to Dave Attell the other day. I go,
really?
I like you, but you need a little work.
He's green is the thing. He's great, but he's so green.
Now, the comics that you're hearing from, are they New York comics? Are they L.A. comics? Chicago comics?
So most of it is pretty New York heavy, because I think a lot of people that I've worked with before will be like, ooh, and then they'll send it in. That's mostly New York and Boston, but we got a bunch of comics from D.C. The funniest submissions for me were, I did a show maybe a month ago in Pennsylvania. I'd say one of the worst shows of my life. It was at a German rec hall, and the average age was 200 years old. These people were elderly, and everyone on the show was bombing. All the people opening, it was bomb, bomb, bomb. I got messages from 2 of these people I did the show with saying, hey, just so you know, I'd be willing, if you're willing to come down to Pennsylvania, I'd be willing to be on your show. And that was the submission. And I was
That's hilarious.
Okay, if we're going to come to Pennsylvania, you would be willing to be on Sirius XM after that show that we did together? I'll see if we can get a crew to come down. Someone also submitted a cover of Avril Lavigne's one of Avril Lavigne's songs, which I'm looking forward to checking out.
That is the next big thing. If you're going to cover Avril Lavigne, this is the radio station to do it on.
Of all the people to like do a cover of. But the submissions have been great, and it has been a pretty like wide net, which is really
great.
Cool. And I like watching comedy. I know a lot of comics don't like. I love watching. Almost like I feel like it's a sickness because like I'll go do shows and then come back and just watch more comedy. Is that unhealthy?
Yes, I think it's very unhealthy.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
We've got Emma Willman in studio. Check Spot with Emma Willman premieres tomorrow at 3 p.m. on Raw Dog. Go to emmacomedy.com for her stand-up dates and follow her at Emma Willman on Twitter.
Now, I was supposed to be with Emma at the Voss and Bonnie kind of newlywed game thing.
Yeah.
What's the name of that show again? You don't know me.
You don't know me.
And you had a breakup.
Yeah. Yes. And while I was driving around, I heard the show, and it was great.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Really good. So here's what happened. I was with someone for about a year, and also she was like great, so funny, like she would have been awesome on the show. But about a week before we were going to do that, we had a breakup because I sex text cheated. Now, my friend was like, "How the fuck did you get caught sex text cheating?" And I was like, I was typing too hard. And he was like, "No way." I'm like, "No, I'm kidding. I'm joking." But do you guys think sex texting is cheating?
I think that most people would say
yes.
Sex texting is cheating.
I think it depends on the parameters that you've set up in your relationship.
Yeah,
like if you have a certain setup where that isn't, it has to be agreed upon.
So you have to clarify it before.
Yeah, I think if you're saying, unless you're in somewhat of an open relationship.
Right.
And if you're going to do that, the thing is, you've got to be upfront and say, "Look, I'm willing to date you, but this is the kind of person I am."
A douchebag.
Yeah. I don't like you calling me a douchebag, but the fact is, this is kind of the way I can possibly live my life. And then if the other person is cool or is open maybe to some kind of behavior. But most people go, "I thought if you didn't know, it would be fine."
Right.
You know?
Because, I mean, I think it also depends who the person is you're sexting with. Because I think of sexting almost as interactive porn. So the person I was with knew I watch porn, and if I sex text, I would like pretend to be like a character. It was just like a role playing thing.
Right.
And then and I asked a week before, I was like, "Is it okay if I sex text?" And she said, "With who? Your ex?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "No." And then I did it.
Yeah.
So that was why then we broke up.
But if you were with someone in Russia
Life
that
is
you were
hard.
never going to meet, you could probably do it.
Now, do you think that you would have parlayed that from sex into actual
No
sex?
way. Because here's the thing. I've never been more in love in my life. Like, this was the best relationship ever. It was the best. And so I think I was trying to self-sabotage, too.
There you were.
Yeah. Why?
That's what you do.
Really?
I can't wait until you fuck up this check spot.
Oh, no. Oh, God, here it comes. I'm going to be trying to cheat outside.
Yeah.
I'm going on other shows. Like, we don't care.
Aaron just hears you with another guy picking out other comedians.
What the fuck? What's going on here? Uh-oh. I didn't think it was cheating. But.
Well, there are some people that are like, "Hey, flirting or sexting, whatever, is fine."
It's so
Then there's
lame.
Other people that don't even want their spouse or other partner to watch porn at all.
Now, see, that's crazy to me. I think that's nuts. Because to me, the biggest part of a relationship is the emotional thing. You got a boyfriend, right?
I do, yeah.
Because it's like, wouldn't you say if all of a sudden you started telling some other guy things that you just tell him? That's like the biggest.
I wouldn't like that either.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of even a more so heartbreaking thing that happens if you see that somebody has an emotional connection with somebody. That could be even more harmful, I think, than
totally
finding out that someone fooled around with someone or did something stupid. You're like, you think about this person.
Right.
In a way that I thought you only thought of me.
Because physical stuff is usually easier to connect about than like the emotional and mental. But I don't know, because that person I was sexting with, I hate talking to them. If it's not about sex stuff, and ever since we broke up, I haven't talked to the person once. How crazy is that? So I'm okay at sex texting, but I'm dyslexic. So my sex texts are kind of a disaster because I spell everything wrong.
Yeah, that would turn me off.
Yeah, it's not like
she is not a good speller.
Why does she want to make me cum?
Right. Yeah. Cumin. I'm cumin hard. Oh, she's cooking.
Check Spot with Emma Willman premieres tomorrow at 3 p.m. on Raw Dog. Go to emmacomedy.com for stand-up dates.
That's great. It's on right after us. So we can
what an honor.
Yeah, we can sit in studio and listen to it and laugh along.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And the first interview was with Paul Verzi. Have you gotten to talk to Paul?
I know, I don't think we've had him on, but I know his work.
He was awesome because he was like super friendly, very giving. Like he was a great, he was a great interview, and his album's really funny too. So
your hope is to bring these people in, not just play their bits.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're going to feature 3 albums. So that means it's the 3 albums that we'll feature. Obviously, it's people with albums. So they've got to be at a point where they've created an album. And then one of the albums will do like a feature interview. But the part where it's like really like newer people or people that maybe don't have albums, we're going to do like a highlight section. So it'll be like, we're out in the clubs. I got to see Gail Bennington. Like, what are you doing here? And then, play a clip, which would be awesome, by the way, if that was.
Yeah. And there's like this, my dad's such a dick. The other day.
Don't you hate dad?
Yeah. Don't you hate when you're doing a radio show with your dad?
This is really relatable,
It's like not even at a club. It's like I just record her saying it. Like
it's real personal stuff.
It's my act that I do in the ladies' room.
Right. Like she's just talking shit.
Just because I happen to be going into the kitchen doesn't mean I want to bring you back an iced tea.
Right.
Dad.
Well, I wanted to ask too, because last time I was on, Chris was talking about not drinking. Did you take a break?
Yeah.
You did?
4 weeks now.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He had a meltdown, but it seems like you're past the DT part of this, right?
I slept over the weekend for the first time in weeks.
Well,
yeah. He was a rough going coming out of it. It was almost a little bit more difficult than when he was
here's
drinking.
the deal.
Interesting.
He had that, and he'd been missing work and fucking up. But then he took me aside and told me something personal, which he never does. And have you noticed you felt better since then?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
So the bottom wasn't when you fell and and hurt your head. That wasn't the bottom.
That was part of a bottom, yeah.
Right.
But then I kept drinking for another 2 months.
I think it was your bottom, but then you just set it on the calendar because you wanted to drink at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So he was like, this is my bottom, but I'm going to continue this until.
But also he was, I don't think this is giving anything away, self-medicating because of your feelings. And I'm not going to give anything away.
Oh my God.
But he told me that he was responsible for his parents' death.
What?
So
not to get personal.
That would come out on the air.
Both of them?
But do you feel relieved just telling someone?
Yeah, oddly enough.
That's the thing about confession. Most religions have some form, of course, psychology is just someone to say, look, I did this thing, and then for the other person to go, okay, whatever.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, I don't do it.
You got to get it out of your head, because if it's in your head, that's the most dangerous place.
See, I'm very easy. I have a lot of stuff that I'm just taking to the grave. I don't give a fuck.
Really?
Yeah.
It doesn't torment you, or... Wait, I'm so curious. What's the worst thing?
Well, there's a lot of things that either I have done or I've known people who have done.
Right.
That I just, I'm fine. Now, they say that the thing that helps me is that I'm a sociopath. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Because then you don't have to worry about anyone else.
Right.
I don't even realize that they have feelings. I'm always surprised.
Oh, that bothers you?
Yeah.
You just strangled my cat in front of me.
Yeah, but I thought it would be something to do.
Why are you crying about it, though? Yeah, I know it happened, but...
So you're taking it to the grave.
All right, a couple of things have come down. I'm glad you're here because I wanted to ask you about it.
Anything.
Now, have you seen the Fuller House?
No. What is that? What is that show?
Now, this is the Full House, but they're all grown up.
Right.
And one of the things that the internet is blowing up with almost about shame is the little girl on the show, Stephanie Tanner, is now all grown up with big tits. And I haven't seen the show, but do they showcase her tits?
Specifically, yes, in the first episode.
First of all,
like a bizarre extreme.
First of all, she should be. Wait, she looks. This is the current one, or this is way back in the day?
This is the current.
Because shouldn't she be? How old is she now?
She's got to be
15.
I would
She's 8 years old.
She's like early 30s.
But her face looks like she's still like 18.
Yeah, she's got a young.
There's another reason why there's no reason to be a pedophile.
Right.
There are plenty of girls in their 20s.
I just saw this documentary called Seeking Hot Girls, and it was about amateur porn and like the porn industry for people just over 18 and how they did that. And they were talking about like how it curves pedophilia because they don't have to go out and like be pedophiles. They can just watch this porn where the girls look like they're like 13. It was all fucked up, but she looks like she could be like 16.
All right, let me see a picture.
But the breasts look older.
She looked like, that's funny. What she looked like in the day, because I wasn't a watcher
She
of
was
the
a
show.
baby. Like she was very young when she started.
Is the show really good? I mean, to me, this just seems like they, maybe need to get back on the air, and nothing was okay. She looks really young.
Yeah, she was
literally.
Wow, she grew up.
Yeah, she
hello. Yeah, she looks good. So people are interested. What's her plot line now?
Well, I think the reason that it's particularly bizarre is that the show was always it was like a family sitcom, like one of those like stereotypical, like, it's something the whole family could watch together.
Not anymore.
And there's no other element to it that makes it like the new version.
Right.
Not that. Except for her giant tits being showcased.
Show business, baby.
Now, here's the thing. Now, this is, let's say, a 15-second clip, right? So, like, she makes reference to it. DJ says, "Oh, Stephanie, like, it's a revealing top you're wearing." But then she stays in that for the rest of the episode.
Right.
And, like, things happen. And you can't not look. Like, they're
What kind of, like, she's bouncing around, or?
No, she's literally in a serious conversation where, like, I've really missed you guys, and you can't look at anything else. Like, it's fine for the party scene, it's fine for the joke, but then you can't go on and have emotions and even notice what else is going on in the scene.
Are those real?
I think that they might be.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think that they're well propped up, but I have a feeling that they are real.
What has she been doing since the show? I mean, they've all been trying to get their acting careers off the ground, I'm guessing.
I think that her and the girl who plays DJ, I don't think that they have done much acting in between.
DJ was in the news because she was battling with bulimia, right? Didn't she come out, my eating struggle, blah, blah.
I think that was her.
It looks like she won, if you know what I'm saying. She beat that eating problem. So that's the kind of meanness, right? That causes people to puke.
But yeah, it's kind of interesting because these two are kind of the most, like, the new show is kind of focused on them.
Right.
But they're not the ones who have maintained their
This is
acting career.
less of a struggle for me because I didn't watch her when she was a little girl. Because I guess you could take anyone's pictures and show it to me when they were a child. And be like, oh, they were little once.
Right.
But I didn't watch her every year for 8 years or whatever grow up. She's beautiful now, by the way. She's a beautiful girl.
She's a doll.
Yeah.
Deej is cute, too.
Oh, sure she is.
Yeah.
No one says she was.
I mean, I loved this show. When I was a kid.
You were crazy about it?
Oh, my God. I love this show. Is the annoying neighbor Kimmy on it again?
Yes.
Yeah,
Kimmy Gibbler is one of the main characters.
Everybody but the twins came back.
So John Stamos is back?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's doing everything because he had that other show like about being the dad.
Grandfather. Yeah.
And then Bob Saget is on as well.
Saget is back.
The first episode. But basically, they set it up where some of these other characters show up, and they're kind of in the first couple episodes.
Right.
But the main show is about Stephanie, DJ, and Kimmy Gibbler.
So why are they all still living together?
Well, funny you should ask.
Things aren't going well. Everyone's in rehab.
Yes.
It's a sober house now.
Exactly. And now DJ is a single mom of 3 boys.
Really?
Much like her father was a single dad of 3 daughters. So now the news story is that Stephanie and Kimmy Gibbler are kind of taking the role of Uncle Jesse and
hey, that's not bad. That's kind of a good.
Yeah, you got to force it.
It's a
but
cute
see,
premise.
here's the part I don't like. The Olsen twins, their character name was what?
Michelle.
They said that she drowned in the San Francisco Bay.
Get out of
Yeah,
here.
they said
Are
she
you
drowned.
serious?
Yeah, because they couldn't get her to come back. So
No.
She drowned
On
in
the
San
show?
Yeah.
Wait.
Well, no, here's what they said, swept out to sea.
Okay.
Right.
So maybe there's a possibility that she could
But
come
it's
back.
done really well with the laugh track. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it sounds heavy, but they make it light.
Swept out to sea.
Yeah.
I would have loved this because they were probably throwing around tons of ideas in that pitch meeting. They're like, well, she's an anti-Semite and she joined the Klan. And I'm like, wait a minute.
And now she's voting for Trump.
Yeah. Who do you guys think is going to win the election?
There's no way you bet on this thing.
Right.
I mean, Hillary's going to get nominated.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, it's locked.
I only just really, I didn't mean to switch gears too quick with that, but I only just really started following it maybe 2 weeks ago. So I feel kind of like, not in the dark, but I'm surprised the way it's going. I feel like I'm watching a movie.
Yeah, it is entertainment, and Rubio the last 3 days has just been a madman. I mean, he looks like he's on he turned into Trump. It's insane.
Really?
Yeah, it seems like he is now trying to
He did a dick joke.
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
that's the thing that's really crazy about him is that I think that he is trying to out-bro Trump. He's just like, I could be a bigger bro than that dude. If that's what you guys want, I'll talk some bro.
I'll do it.
You know what kills me though? It's like if you were an observational comic, right? And you were going to a club and Jeff Ross was killing every night. You don't turn in and like, I'll do his style material. And that's what this guy's doing. He's not making on his own personality. He's just adapted to another person's personality.
And it seems an easy enough character to be the opposite of.
Absolutely.
He's such an extreme.
Great point.
And there's such an ability to say, hey, this is very sensational. I'm going to be the guy who presents, reason and facts, and that's how I'm going to win you over.
And you can't out Trump. I mean, Trump has trumped being the Trump. Like you can't. From everything about him, you can't outdo him doing that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, my stepmom's mom loves it, and she's like I was surprised. She was like, I love him. I saw a clip of him where I actually kind of got the attraction.
Right, sure.
I saw a clip when he was talking about Chris Christie, and he breaks from the whole news conference thing, and he goes, I mean, honestly, does anyone really believe that he didn't know about what was happening? And that I was like, yeah. Like, it was like he was like he's talking to you in his living room.
Yeah, that's what he does.
And
he does.
I appreciated that. Also, it's funny that he got Jeb Bush's domain name.
Yeah.
That's funny.
He does some things that you can definitely see the appeal. I mean, during the last debate where Cruz and Rubio were just hopping on him like hyenas, he's kind of battling back, but he's being funnier than them. And they are saying these biting things, but they're coming off looking terrible. And even, I don't care how crazy he's saying what he's saying, he still has an ability to make the other guy look crazier than him. I don't know
now,
how
that's
he
a
does
good
it.
ability.
Yeah.
That's something I wish for dating, that would be huge. To twist that, because I'm always on the other end of that.
Yeah.
Because I do something and then they make me sound, and I always am the bad guy, but I wish I could come back and be like, no, you're the crazy one. But never.
All right, we got some Fuller House comments here. Here's Devin in Minnesota. What's up?
Yeah, she's sober now, but that middle one with the big boobs, she was battling meth addiction for a lot of years.
What?
Steph?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
The one with the boobs, Stephanie, whatever her name is. Yeah.
Meth?
How rude.
This makes me even a bigger fan of the show.
Me too.
Yeah.
She's down.
Battling meth?
Yeah.
She had all that Full House money.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
Look, you don't need a lot of money to have a meth addiction. It's not coke
meth?
addiction.
Not even coke. I mean, that's crazy. She must have gone to rehab.
Everyone does.
Right.
Everyone does. Tim, Long Island.
Hey, Ronnie, did you know that they already made a porn version of Fuller House?
What's it called?
Full Holes.
Oh, jeez. Doesn't even seem
clever.
Now,
I love it.
Were the kids grown up in that, I hope?
Yeah. Full holes.
All right. This is something that Joey Jojo is into.
Oh, boy.
And you stay with this every single day. And this is Jen Selter, who is an Instagram star, correct?
Yeah, she's the giant fitness Instagram star.
All right. Now, what is she doing in today's?
Well, apparently she's been working on her splits. And she's so close. She's so close.
Let's take
and you're really rooting for her.
Let's take a look at it.
What? I see why she is an Instagram star.
She
very talented, very talented.
She's got a lot of talent.
A lot of talent.
There's a lot of talent back there.
Now,
Wow. What?
You're a guy who loves the big ass.
Yeah, I'm a big ass guy.
You don't see a lot of big ass stars go for the split, though. It's an interesting move.
No, and I'm proud of her for trying.
Real.
I'm glad she is one of the few.
It's almost even more exciting than is when she's on her way down. She's trying to. There's like a little bit of bounce as she's trying to find her way down there.
You're seeing things I didn't even see.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Wow. I didn't even see that. You were good, Gail.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's almost like the sales caught wind there for a second.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So she is just Instagram famous. Does she post videos like this every day?
Go to her Instagram account, Chris, so we can get...
I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah. She's famous for this. She's a workout person.
Right.
And also gives positive stuff, but this split may be the best she's ever done. So go to
her greatest work.
Yeah, go to click on some of the... So that's the button full thing. She's constantly working out. There she is sitting, go back, Chris. Just having a cappuccino somewhere, which is fun, with a giant ass taking up the chair.
And that's good for back alignment, by the way. She's sitting the proper way, right on the sits bone, so that's
Chris.
perfect.
Wow.
There's the round ass. I think that's in this neighborhood.
I wouldn't want to work out with if I went and had a trainer like that, I wouldn't want to work out with him. I'd feel too self-conscious. You know what I mean?
Get a picture of her. Go right behind it, Chris.
I want to be in shape by the time I worked out with someone like that.
I don't think she works anyone out. I'm going to be totally honest. I don't think she's taking any clients.
Personal clients.
First of all, she would work out most people probably 6 minutes. And done. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I got to go. Yeah.
I think that she would maybe come over and you could watch her work out. But this split has got to be, is this the primo one? She's never done anything this big before?
Yeah, this is I think the most.
How many people have commented on this or liked it?
Oh my God.
It's 163,000 likes and 14,000 comments.
And this is in not even 24 hours, right? This is a recent.
The human body is an incredible thing. I mean, that's amazing.
Her human body is, that's for sure.
Yeah. I was talking about you, Ronnie.
No, the thin girl with the big ass is this heiress, right?
Yes.
Like, there used to be, if you looked at the 60s, it was just thin girls.
Right.
Like the
wave.
70s, would be curvy, a little curvier girls. 50s was a bigger curve than ever.
50s was just all around kind of that buxom blonde kind of look where...
But if you look at this now, we're off the tit. For the tit doesn't exist for sex symbols, and it's just an enormous ass.
I guess 80s were all about the tits. That was a tit decade, I believe.
Well, who was the big
well, I just feel like if you go by any of those... big comedy movies, for whatever reason, there was all those like unnecessary tit shots. I'm not sure like why that was a thing, but I think it was the preferred body part of the decade.
So is this kind of like the ass is coming to the forefront because of people like this, or is it that society is wanting that more now? So she's like getting more attention. I mean,
I don't know if that. Did that ass even exist in the 90s? Did you even run into anybody with that size?
There was certainly like an interest in like booty in the 90s, but I don't think it looked like as
toned.
Is this real?
Globular.
Is this totally real?
Yeah, it's real. Yeah, it's
really.
No implants
but
or
if you look, let's say the 70s, Goldie Hawn was known to have a great ass.
Right.
But it was so much smaller than this ass. It was a nice
shape to it.
Yeah. It looked like you brought in a couple of Italian workmen and they went over it and they made it perfect.
Right.
That's her with
her mom.
Her mom.
Hey! What the fuck? Who's her mom?
Some chick.
That's
like she's just her manager.
Now it looks like her mom's stuck in the 80s with those tits.
She's stuck in the 80s. She's all tits and lower. But this shot, which is called Mother and Child Reunion, it's really beautiful.
Now, what is it? So for guys, is it like what people want for guys? Is it's always just been like the chest and the face, or what do people? Is there trends in what people?
I believe
are
that there's trends. Yeah, but never has there been an ass this giant. Now, for a while, I remember doing radio in the early 80s and 90s, and a strip club would always bring women over, and the breasts would be ridiculously bigger and bigger, and they would get these giant tit jobs. It's like if you ever watch Cinemax there, late at night, softcore porn. They're gigantic fake breasts that, for whatever reason, was the thing. I remember a girl came in and did that thing where she smacked her tits against my face. It's got a name of some sort. I'm not sure what it is, but...
Motorboat?
Okay, we'll go with motorboat. And these cement tits, I felt like I almost was knocked unconscious. Yeah. I was hit hard enough.
Just like two boxing gloves on either side of the head. I took the shot and I was back in the corner trying to protect myself. But she was one tit slap away from knocking me out. They were so fucking hard.
But that's not arousing, right? Like, you don't want that.
No. It's the exact opposite of arousing.
Because you want, and also if people get breast implants, a lot of times, don't they lose, like, sensation in their nipples?
Oh, of course they do. But
you'd have to. Yeah. But I think, now, do you think that breast implants are less in favor now? Like, it's less expected? Like, a butt implant is probably more coveted than a breast implant these days?
I don't even know how the butt implant works. For some reason, it seems scarier.
I think J-Lo got a butt implant.
They say that about certain people.
I know they say it about
Nicki Minaj is a big one. Yeah.
Really? They have before and after. I also, she went to school in the city, and I met a couple girls who were in her high school, and they're like, 100%. That's a fake ass. I saw that ass. That's a fake ass.
I've been watching that ass for years. All right.
But yeah, there's before and after of all of a sudden, she had a ass that just defies science out of nowhere.
And you can get your ass insured. You can. J-Lo supposedly had $1 million ass implant. Yeah, Nicki Minaj's ass. What?
Wow, that's gigantic.
That's a huge difference.
That is crazy. See, you know what? I don't know what this is, but with that ass, all of a sudden she looks like a superstar.
Yeah,
she looks like a star, whatever. But with the ass implant, boom.
Yeah,
I mean, whole other level.
That's the moneymaker now.
All right. When it comes to the Instagram girls, look who's called in. Our pal Tommy Jonigan, hilarious comedian.
So funny.
Tommy, how are you, pal?
Great. How are you guys?
You wanted to talk about Instagram girls?
I got one, and I feel like I may be in that phase where you like a band before anyone knows about them.
Okay.
So I almost don't want to give it away, but BB Quality is her Instagram handle, and I think I may love her.
You think she's going to be big? So Tommy's out here scouting talent on Instagram.
Yeah,
whoa!
I think I love her.
Is she at Roosevelt Island? Was that picture in Roosevelt Island?
That really looked like Roosevelt Island. I mean, there's other
Chris
shots
just slaps around. Is that you doing it, Chris, or
me.
Why?
How did you discover her, Tommy?
I fall into I'll tell you this. I think I have the best Instagram likes. If you just like a bunch of yoga girls, they just keep suggesting yoga girls for you.
Okay.
Whoa. The key to life.
We see you like a yoga pant.
If you ever go to my Instagram and you see that I just liked a bunch of athletes or car companies, then I've probably went through a chunk of liking prostitutes or porn stars.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, when that happens, I think, his wife must be home.
Right.
Now, at what time? Yeah. At what time of the day are you most apt to look at your Instagram girls?
Probably right when I wake up and I'm laying next to my girlfriend.
Now, when you follow somebody and they're not a model, it's just a pretty girl who has.
Oh, she's pretty thick.
Yeah, he likes them thick.
Okay.
Yeah.
She almost seems thick and Iranian.
Yes.
I guess I'm into that.
You might be getting lured in by ISIS and you don't even know.
Oh my God! How brilliant would that
be? That's how they do it. That's how they get
yoga.
Yeah, putting thick Arab girls out there one after another.
That would be, done and done.
Wow. That's all about that.
Okay, so she's quite talented herself.
Yeah.
Now, is this something they have aspired to their whole life?
I hope so.
Is this they're living their
childhood?
dream?
Well, you can get paid for this, right? You can sell ads.
Yeah, you cannot get companies to give you products. You're like, I drink this fit tea or whatever every day.
And they did that. They came up with that kind of stuff pretty quickly for Instagram, where they figured out how to make that a market.
Right, monetize
They're getting paid a few grand. Some of the lesser ones are like the Fat Jews is getting paid like $50,000 for an ad. Just post something with about Slim Jims or whatever.
And that's still going strong, even though they decided that he was stealing some of that material.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She still has
They
all those
don't care.
followers.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Okay.
There's a generation of people out there who don't care who stole what from who.
They might not even know what that means.
Yeah.
Like they might be like, "Oh, you heard it from somewhere, then you retold it." Like they don't
Yeah.
understand that like what.
Well, they grew up on hip hop where you're allowed
Right.
to take other people's songs,
Sampling,
and
totally.
then talk over them and call yourself an artist.
Totally.
So why wouldn't you take someone's comedy?
Right.
You know.
Yep. I mean, culture shaping, media shaping, other stuff. That's part of why I think Trump even is so popular, because we're so accustomed to like reality TV stars, the cult of charisma. And then it's like, what's the line between him and someone who's a personality? He is
he was a Twitter star before he ran.
Right.
So people were already, he's got a couple million followers.
Right.
Tommy, are you a Trump guy?
Am I a Trump guy? No.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, maybe if I think we're all going to have to be if he becomes president. I think
we're all going to have to submit.
Hey, he's commander in chief. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I'm not a voting guy, but this is the first time where I've been a little afraid.
Me too. And I'm not a voting person either. I got to start voting.
But you know what? I like being afraid. I like thinking this
Really?
could tear the country down.
It's exciting.
I love it.
It's keeping you on your toes.
Yeah.
Like imagine it happen.
Gives
Like,
you
I
a rush.
fucking think the American people deserve it.
Really?
Yeah.
In many ways, it does feel like he's the candidate that America deserves.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, it's
This is what I'm saying.
scarily appropriate.
Stand in line in Star Wars, get fucking Trump. You know
Right.
what I mean? Tell me these shitty movies are awesome, you're getting Trump. You fucking watch American Idol and fucking buy those albums, you're getting Trump.
Right.
Okay? Fuck you. The culture wars are turning into real wars now.
Are you going to go out and vote this election?
I voted, there's been a couple of elections that I missed or forgot about, but the last few I voted, and yeah, I'm going to take it right down. If it comes down between he and Hillary, it'll be the people that are most hated ever in the history
It's
of the
so
country.
true. You're so right.
They each have like a 65%. I don't like that person, which is great.
Right. Totally. I didn't vote in the last election. My mom didn't talk to me for like 2 months. And I lied to her about it.
That's smart.
I lied because she was on me, and then I got confused. I didn't know where to go in and vote. Excuse. And she came in. Called me. Who'd you vote for? And I told her, I was like, Obama. And she's like, where'd you vote? And I was like, I voted at the place I was supposed to vote at. Where was that? And I was like, it was the place where where I was supposed to go. And she's like, are you lying? And then I said, fuck. And then she went in. She was like, you have to think, how did you become so selfish and inconsiderate? You're just thinking about yourself and not the country. She was very disappointed. We didn't talk for like 2 months because I didn't vote.
Is that a real impression of her?
No, she sounds nothing like that.
Oh, too bad.
She doesn't sound
It's just
anything
like standard
this.
mom.
Yeah, nothing.
Naggy
This is my
mom
go-to.
voice.
Tommy, I want you to call us every time you get a new yoga girl. All right?
I'll do that. I get good ones. But this one's been a favorite for months. I just wanted to expose you guys.
I dig
I
her.
appreciate it. Yeah. Anytime you get a new one, send it to us. We want if you want to keep it quiet, we'll keep it off the air.
Does she do live appear? Also, he's probably going to send like some real like creepy one where it's like just his neighbor or something. Like, wait a minute.
That'll work
Check
for
her
me.
out.
Does this one do live performances? Like, what does she do? Like shows or?
She has a Snapchat. You can watch her Snapchat.
Snapchat. Okay. All right. Nice.
All right, Tommy. Talk to you later, buddy.
Bye.
Love you, kid. We got a break here. Can you hang out a while, or are you going to split?
Yeah,
What are you gonna do?
I just have to be somewhere at. Well, I gotta be somewhere at like 2:45.
Okay, so are you far away? Should
Nope,
we say
close
goodbye
by.
to you? All right, so we'll break. We'll come back. Who's stopping in today, Chris?
Mr. Mike Fenoya.
Oh,
Nice. Awesome.
Great.
Cool.
And you'd be able to jump up and leave whenever you want to.
Awesome.
But you got your new show.
Check
happening.
Spot. Check Spot with Emma Willman premieres
Yes.
tomorrow at 3 p.m. on Raw Dog. Go to emmacomedy.com for her stand-up dates and follow her at Emma Willman on Twitter.
Thank you so much. I'm very proud of the show too, so I feel really good about like presenting it to people and who we're showcasing.
You know what we're proud of? That you're with us now.
Thank
You're part of
you.
the
You're
team.
one of us.
Appreciate that.
We'll be right back. This is Bennington.
Back with more Bennington, and now we have Mike Fenoya in studio. Mike's performing at the Crackers at Broad Ripple in Indianapolis this Thursday, March 3rd through Saturday, March 5th. Go to crackerscomedy.com for tickets. Mike's new show, Finer Things with Mike Fenoya, airs Friday on the Anthony Cumia Network. Go to mikefenoya.com for all additional dates.
I got to check on this. Are we allowed to say Anthony Cumia Network? Is that something that's acceptable?
You went for it.
Yeah, you went for it anyway. Interesting.
You owe
know
someone $50.
You know what I
somewhere.
could say? Hey, she made a rookie mistake.
Boom.
Or I didn't say it. Gail did.
Good point.
Yeah.
I get away with a lot. We also still have Emma Willman with us. Check Spot with Emma Willman premieres tomorrow at 3 p.m. on
So
Raw
pumped
Dog.
for you.
Thank you. You too.
All good things.
Can we say Raw Dog on here without...
You know when I get away with everything.
Yeah.
Censor.
That'll make Anthony mad.
That's right.
That'll make Anthony as mad as the Oscars did last night with the...
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was thinking that would be a fun drinking game if you like took a shot every time someone said black or white.
Right.
You'd be dead in like 8 minutes. It's ridiculous. Can you imagine if they outlawed the words black and white? How like progressive but frustrating it would be.
Well, oddly, I have a couple other words now that I only use at home.
Really?
But, yeah. Oh,
Share some.
They're good ones.
While we're breaking rules.
Beep, beep.
Yeah, that was, first of all, I thought he did well. He got a lot of laughs last night, but
Absolutely.
did not put the show over. Did not make you feel like, hey, I want to watch more movies.
No, I muted it and listened to some Rolling Stones after Chris Rock.
Smart.
Who was the big winner last night?
Well,
Leo.
Leo,
Oh,
I
nice.
think
Love
that's
him.
the one
Yeah.
that
Love.
You love Leo? You
I
grew
love
up
Leo.
with Leo.
Do you guys not love Leo? I love Leo.
There
I've
was a
been-
Been a fan since Growing Pains.
Oh my God, Growing Pains, Romeo and Juliet. Like, I don't know. I just love him.
Well,
Sometimes someone just makes you. I
You know,
love him.
Romeo and Juliet, I think, was the first film that Gail begged me to see. And
Yes.
I haven't seen it. She's like,
I was
please,
obsessed
please.
with him.
Me too. I begged my dad. It was because we're probably the same age as one of the first rated R movies I saw.
And he was probably my only teeny bopper moment where I would have posters of him.
And he
in my
would get
locker.
a little too edgy about it, and
Yeah.
oh my God. And then I remember
You'd
once
cut
you
up
go,
Tiger Beat.
Exactly.
he once said this, you went I seriously love him and I want to marry him. And I remember going like this, okay.
Yeah.
Sure you will.
All right.
And then just a couple years later, you're like, he fucks a lot of supermodels. Something's not adding up here.
He was stealing from Maggie Seaver. There's something wrong with this kid. I thought Chris Rock did a good job, but then after that, I hate those things.
Yeah.
I don't care about any of those awards. So they should be giving out real awards, person who handled the most mushrooms at once, and fun, getting out of a DUI award.
That also would have went to Leo.
Yeah.
He loves shrooms.
Yeah, quite a tripper.
Here's a guy who deserves an award. Gail brought this up, and this was the guy running at the combine that lost himself a little bit in his shorts. Not sent by you, Gail. So here's the deal. You got to watch this guy. All right. I don't know what this is up as, Chris.
This is up as NFL Combine prospect rocks out with his cock out.
Boing.
Okay.
Hey.
Now watch. So he's running with his cock pops out, and then he slides on it.
Then he buries it. Oh, the reverse anteater.
No. Oh, no.
Oh, and then he just
That's-
finished. Oh.
That's full body weight.
He's and the body is about 280.
Oh, and then he just pats it down.
Yeah.
He puts it out like a campfire.
Now this to me is
God,
worse than
There's even
Man.
a bounce.
sucks.
Yeah.
Like he hits
Look how
penis
quick he
first.
got up.
Turf
Look how
burn.
quick he got up.
Now, see, this is something that changed over the years. Guys don't wear jocks anymore. It used to be no matter what sport.
Yeah, you wore a cup.
Yeah, you wear a cup. Then they did away with the cup, and they're just wearing jocks. Now they're just free balling.
Did he fall?
Oh, there it is. Look at that. That was a...
No,
he
he
fall to
fell
cover
because he's
himself
an
up?
idiot, and then he covered himself up like a gentleman before he put his
Oh.
great cop.
How did he?
Now
How did
listen.
he stand up so fast though? Wouldn't he be crippled in pain?
Jeez, just the slight glimpse I got of that
I guess
hog.
it's
He
one
should
of those.
He has
things-
a big penis,
tied
right?
to his
Yeah.
leg. Yeah. He should have a
Well,
holster.
he's a black athlete.
He's doing well for himself.
I like that Emma had to say, right? Is that that seems big?
I asked Mike.
Yes.
Sorry.
Mike, you have a
that's big.
huge one. How does that? Oh, you could tell in my new tight jeans.
But it's not only that he falls.
Damn.
There's like a bounce. It's almost like he hits it a couple times on the way down.
You know, in my few penis accidents, that would beat all of them hands down. I've gotten it caught in a zipper a couple times.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, but sitting on one of your own balls is one of the worst pain. It feels like someone you love lied to you. It's like deep in your stomach.
The last time that happened to me, I thought I had a serious.
You sat on your own balls?
It happens
It's
to
so
every
painful.
man every few years.
You just sit on it.
Oh.
You go to sit down quick and you catch it there.
It just gets underneath you?
It's on being predominantly a warm day.
Is this
You're in a
real?
rush. You sit down in it. But what it does is it tries to free itself, so it's like this pain and then like release, and it's a
starts
pain.
to head up. Yeah,
it's like if you did a shot of absinthe through your ass and it kind of burns upwards.
This is
It's
something only
really
recently
terrible.
I found out was a thing that somebody described that.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It
incredible.
sounds terrible, but there's something so sad about it.
I
that
gotta
you do
stop
it.
throwing that over and over. 'Cause it's starting to hurt me. It's
fucked up.
Yeah, it is. Hey, I just got stuck in. Not stuck. I came up in the elevator with the. Who's the woman that does the show with Kathy Lee?
Oh, that's Hoda.
Yeah, extremely like chipper and
she's
happy.
nice.
Speaking of sitting on balls.
Yeah, that's how it felt. She brought up the weather. She's like, "What is going on out there?" And I'm like, "I don't know. One of three possibilities. It's sunny. What the hell is it?" I love that forced enthusiasm.
What is happening?
What is going on? Oh, you didn't hear? There's a fiery comet coming at us slowly.
She is always at 110% in the hallway.
Oh,
She is about the most
legitimate, nice
friendly.
person.
Yeah.
Because the first time I saw her, I thought, does she think that she knows me?
Right.
Because she was so like, hey, how's it going? And then I realized like that's just the energy she brings at all times.
That's disarming
ready
to
for
me sometimes.
friends.
Sure is. You got to be doing huge lines of vitamin C
Right.
in the morning to get that type of
Absolutely.
energy.
I'm like, I don't know where I know you from.
Right.
It's like, lady, I don't
Did
know.
I promise you something before?
Like, I don't have the money right now, but I'm like, you're good.
Emma, you got to get going.
I got to get going.
You've got
Take like a tree and leave.
We will
keeping time.
Congrats,
plug
buddy.
your
Thank
thing
you.
all day tomorrow.
Thank
as
you so
well.
much. I really
Yes,
appreciate it.
Emma
Thank
Willman.
you.
Check Spot Without Emma Willman is premiering tomorrow at 3 p.m. on Raw Dog. You can also go to emmacomedy.com for her stand-up dates and follow her at Emma Willman.
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
Super funny. Way to go, Emma.
Thanks, Mike. You too.
All
There
right.
she goes.
Emma and I did Oddball this summer together, which was so much fun.
Sweet.
Yeah, great. What an awesome, like, going and doing comedy at venues where I've seen a ton of great music.
Yeah.
Is always such a treat, Like, I did a couple theaters on the road with the Impractical Jokers, and I'd always walk around the halls and look at, like, who played that hall, and it's so fun.
Knowing that you were doing the same green room as Neil Young has done, you
it's
feel a
amazing.
little more like show business.
Yeah, I feel like a certain, but then you're in like a weird place in the middle of nowhere, and it's like Kelly Pickler's on the wall, and that's like the only person, and it's like, oh geez, wow. Her and Conway Twitty did the Arvest Bank Arena in Des Moines, but it's cool to like share that stage and.
Yeah,
It's a lot of fun.
absolutely. Now, who was the headlining people in Oddball when you were doing it?
When I did it, it was Schumer, Nick Kroll, who was absolutely hilarious. I mean, watching his stand up. The Kroll show I thought was dynamite, but his stand-up was great. Jeselnik was on the show, who did phenomenal. Who's Schumer's buddy? That she's a woman who goes out tight red dress. She's a little bit heavier set.
Is it Bridget Everett?
Bridget Everett.
She's our
I always
favorite
forget her
person in
name.
the world.
I absolutely love her so much. We sat backstage and we talked about dogs because I'm a huge dog person, and she had her dog with her. But Mark Normand was on the show.
Does everybody hang out
Attell.
tonight? Is it like a fun kind of circus night? Like you're traveling?
It's pretty cool. Yeah. It's a fun backstage scene because everyone's hysterical, and then they put out the food and everybody's kind of breaking balls, and
everybody.
Dave Attell was there, which, I mean, he's someone still to this day. I mean, he's a walking saint and a living legend, and I'm just so happy to be in his presence anytime I am. So
He's frighteningly fast and peculiarly funny.
Oh my God, he's just unbelievable.
The things that it always gets me about Attell is that if he says something, I immediately think there's not another person in the world who would have said the same joke. You know what I mean? Like, if I thought, like, if I had to, like, here's the premise. Now, how long will it take you to come up with the line that Attell was going to do?
Right.
It would be a long time of just writing out. Obvious jokes. Until you get the weird thing.
The weird thing that he says,
And
which
then
is
the
so
door would open
unbelievable.
and you can leave purgatory.
I go hang out at the cellar and watch him, and I mean, every night he's coming up with something brilliant. He did a thing about an owl the other night, and he's like, "Owl, that's a weird, but that looks like a parrot's lawyer." And it's just like, what a hilarious. He goes, "Just be quiet, I'll blink our way through this." And I'm like, Dave, I mean, he's just an absolute, just a brilliant saint of a person, and the good things he does for people too.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't know that about Dave is that he really spends a lot of time like helping people in need and dogs, and he uses this as a vehicle to do good things. So somebody to look up to. Really love him. But yeah, it's a great time, and I've seen, it's funny being at like the venues I did with Oddball too. I've like lost my mind on psychedelic drugs at like Fish and Grateful Dead shows at those venues, and I'm like looking, and I could see like the spirit of me past, like freaking out behind it. Like, I remember drinking water through a straw over there.
We've got Mike Fenoya in studio with us. Mike's performing at Crackers at Broad Ripple in Indianapolis this Thursday, March 3rd through Saturday, March 5th. Go to crackerscomedy.com for tickets. Mike's new show, Finer Things with Mike Fenoya, airs Friday on the Anthony Cumia Network. Go to MikeFenoya.com for all additional dates, and you can follow him on Twitter at Mike Fenoya.
You know, there is a story up that if you were to buy one of anything on Amazon, you had to buy one of each thing, what it would cost you. And anything from like, I don't know, what's the cheapest thing on there to the most expensive. So let's see how everyone does in this. Like, what would you guess the number? You bought one of everything that's available on Amazon.
Oh my God. I'll say $4 billion.
$4 billion. Gail, your turn.
I was going to say, God, now I feel like I'm maybe completely underdoing. I'm saying 800 million was what I thought.
800 million and $4 billion. Joey Jojo.
I'm going to go with 1 billion even.
Just literally, oddly enough, it would come out to $1 billion.
No tap.
1 billion. Yeah.
You see how crazy that is? Chris Stanley.
My first thought, the first number that came to my head was $75 million.
$75 million.
I think everyone's going way over.
Ron's going with $1 for the Showcase Showdown.
I would go, well, first of all, the closest is far away, but it is Mike. This is $12.9 billion.
Wow.
One of everything.
12.9, but one of everything.
One of everything.
Can you buy an airplane on Amazon?
This is for, it seems like you could buy a fucking football team. You know what I mean? Like, you could buy
the Dolphins are probably on sale for maybe $35.
Yeah, you could buy 4 fucking football teams easily. Probably have enough left over for 2 or 3 hockey teams.
Wow, that's a lot of billion.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's how much shit that Amazon has.
It's just amazing there's that much shit out there.
Yeah.
Right? Just floating around this world.
Particularly if you think of it as something that could be purchased and then sent to your home. Like,
well, this is the deal. Like, I'm at the point in my life, if I go through a store and I'm with a friend and I go, isn't this amazing? I'm like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, there's very little I ever want to bring home. Anything. Somebody should look at this flashlight. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing I really care about.
Yeah.
Enough that I have to own it. I guess a phone is the thing that one of the few things I feel like I have to have.
Yeah, or like, I think it changes too if you're the type of person who cares about whatever new tech thing is out.
I have brand fans that they love different things.
But if you're not that person, what is even...
You know what I'm huge on now, and I'm trying to like learn more about it, is I travel a ton and I hate wires. I hate going into a hotel and dumping a bag of wires and being like, okay, plug this here. That anything Bluetooth capable, like, you know, like Bluetooth headphones for the plane, or a Bluetooth, Sal from Impractical Jokers got me a nice like JBL pill, like the Beats pill, but a JBL version. Yeah. And it came via Amazon, and it's a Bluetooth thing that you just throw in the room and blast music through it. So anything wireless I dig, but I'm very adamant about buying anything. Like I take a long time to think about it, and you know, because every day there's like, oh well, this one's better and that one's more.
Oh yeah,
I'm not
you
one
always
of
have
these
the wrong
like,
one. You always have the wrong. If you get the first fucking world of anything, it's terrible.
Yeah, I've never been the person who has the new phone anyway. I'm always
Why
like
bother?
at least 1 to 2
It's so
generations
stupid.
behind.
You know, and I got a buddy who's lives in Denver, and he's very smart when it comes to web design and shit. And he's got the old iPhone 4 and the original operating system. He refuses to update because he believes that like once you go down that hole, you're just, and all that planned obsolescence and all that bullshit. And it's like, I hate that every day this thing tells me mandatory update. My light bright was a light bright from when I bought it to when I threw it out.
Yeah,
it did all of a sudden I didn't wake up. It's like, oh wow, it's a billboard now.
Right.
Like, what is this shit? I just hate that, like, can't this just be what it is? And that's it. Like, I don't need glitch fixes and all these other.
Yeah.
I also don't even need there's no app I need. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. Before people are like, look at this app, you can find out everything. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. You know?
It was cool at first.
Yeah, show me the map. You know, the last app I put up was Uber, and that's already starting to annoy me.
Yeah, it's already.
Do you know I've screwed up every time I've used Uber?
Have you really?
I can't figure the fucking thing out. I always get a minivan and it costs me like $36 more than it should. I can't stand it.
No, I think if you go Uber X, it's a regular car, right?
Right.
Just like a dude drives up
in a
in his wheels. But I remember when it used to feel like I would hit Uber and a car would pull up. Now I'm like, that took 5 minutes,
right?
7 minutes. I don't want to have to call my Uber driver like it was my girlfriend. Where are you?
I'm waiting.
Last night I took a yellow cab, and I'm so used to Uber X that I just walked out of the cab, and then I had to come back and be like, I am so sorry.
Dude, you can get Arrow and treat it just like Uber.
That's what
Get
I need
the
to
Arrow.
get.
What's that? The Uber of cabs?
Yeah. And even if you're in a regular cab, you can hit something and then you just walk out of the cab and you give them, I think they hit a standard 20% ride.
I'm a big fan of cabs. I don't want my car. I don't want the person getting me from point A to point B to care about the vehicle. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you got to jump a curb or hit a hooker, like, you do what you got to do to get me there.
And also, I don't care where I'm parking. Like, with the cab is like, oh, you're fucked up, huh? You got to get out of this. Like, to drive and look for a spot becomes immediately my worst time of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm like, is that big enough? Who can tell? I'm not going to tell into a failure. Is that too small?
And everyone's looking at you.
Because I'll see 2 feet and I'm like, I think that fits.
I like those new space taxis that they got. They're kind of van with like the big windows and the USB chargers, and you got your own air conditioning controls. And so I like that. But I'll sit in front in a cab. I really don't mind. Like, if a lot of times, like, a couple comics will be going from one place to another, and I'll totally dive in front and have a talk.
Yeah, I don't want to have a talk.
I love talking. You want to know what's funny? You get in a cab and they're not listening to music. What the fuck are you doing in
Just
there?
drive around quietly.
Just listening to your own heartbeat?
Yeah.
That's a creepy bastard right there.
I like when I'm listening like Arab music and I just lean up and I go, there's so many better types of music out there. You don't have to listen to this shit. You're an American now.
I saw this live at Watkins Glen, dude. They totally jammed this out.
Yes, they're called Creedence. I'm just going to give you the
Dickie
greatest
Betts
hit.
sat in.
It's literally a greatest hit. There's 20 hits on
20
this
hits.
fucking CD.
It's a guarantee you're going to like every single song.
I don't know if there's another band like Creedence that you could put in the greatest hits and sing 20 fucking songs in a row because the whole family knows that.
I had a Clockwork Orange moment with Creedence. I can't listen to him anymore. One night in college, I took acid and we drank a keg. We used to take LSD and then drink till we couldn't stand.
Right.
And I laid down on the couch and I was just completely in a coma. Like, I was just laying there. My eyes are wide awake. My brain's awake, but my body's asleep. And we had a 12 CD changer, you know, and Creedence came on and it started skipping during Born on the Bayou. And it was just, Born on, and it just went for, it could have been minutes, it could have been hours. I just laid there like, and finally somebody got up and was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Shut that off. And I was like, okay, thank you so much.
Good.
So now I hear Fogarty's voice and I just get this cosmic twitch. So.
All right, there is something up on the iBank today. Remember the stupid coat or whatever, the blue dress?
Yeah.
How do you see it? There's a new jacket like that everybody sees differently.
Oh, God.
What is it? You have
so
to
it's like the dress where you saw...
So, Mike, you'll go first. What color do you see that as?
Blue. Or do I have to do like periwinkle, like powder blue? Or do I have to do
I
one
think
of
you
those?
do. I think blue would work. Gail, what do you say?
Yeah, I'm seeing a bluish green. I would probably say more green than blue, and then an off-white for the logo.
I see it somewhat as green and gold, Chris.
I see the sky blue.
Sky blue.
Sky blue.
Yeah, like a powder blue.
Oh, I'm far from that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a deeper green.
Yeah, me too, like a sea green.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you said
Vito?
gold, huh?
I see black and gold.
Well, the gold would be that kind of logo there, whatever that is. You see black
Where do you
instead
see
of
black?
Yeah, I see black.
Where? Where the blue is?
Logo, I see a black jacket.
All right, Joey.
Holy Christ, dude.
I see green and then like a goldish brown for the label.
Yeah.
You and I
Dude,
see
Chris,
the
is
same
this
thing.
Are you guys?
I see fucking sky blue and white.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
what I
I'm with you
see.
1,000,000%.
Oh, so we're back in. This is a real deal
Yeah, this is
again.
the real deal.
This is the dress again.
Yeah.
Black? What the hell? Really?
No way you see black.
I'm not even sure that's an option.
Now, this
Yeah, that is definitely.
I don't see color.
It's definitely more green than blue to me, and there's no way that's white. Like that's an off-white gold. There's. Like,
I would say it's kind of like an eggshell.
No,
you know,
it's
like
much deeper for
Yeah,
me.
me too.
I see
Much deeper.
white as this paper. It's fucking bright white, and that's sky
Now,
blue.
what would this
I'm with you.
mean? Because I hate when these things come up because I know with the other one, if you looked from different angles, the color might change.
Right.
But this one I saw on my computer at home, and I'm seeing here, and it doesn't change for me. Is Jam Band in there? Bring it in so we can have another set of eyes.
Jam Band.
What do you see?
That's white and blue.
The whole thing is white?
No, it's white and blue.
Now, where's the white for you?
I think that the logo itself is kind of a white.
And then the rest you see is what color blue? Deep blue or
It's like a light blue, like a sky blue. I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Chris.
All right, now who are the sky blue people? Chris,
I'm a sky blue boy.
Mike, you're sky blue.
Yes.
I'm a green with a gold.
Yeah.
And
black.
Black. You're. And what about you?
Green with gold.
All right, so 3 of us are green with gold. 3 are
Chris,
sky
what
blue.
are they looking at?
And one lunatic.
One
weird.
actually needs help.
Is that Shuli
It's
coming
Shuli,
down
yeah.
the hall? All right, Shuli, come on in. We got another one to take a look.
This is bananas.
Yeah. You can go to the iBank. What's this listed under?
This is listed under get ready to fight over the color of this jacket.
All right. So we got another one of these things that everybody
ahead.
sees different colors.
All right.
Shuli, let him take a look at it.
That looks like a, I'm seeing like a bluish type, aqua.
Would you say sky blue?
Or would you say a greenish
Why do I feel like you're selling me a
seafoam?
timeshare? What's
Mike,
going
you're
on?
leading the witness. And what color do you see the logo as?
White.
Okay.
All right.
That's 4, 3, and 1 black. You see black on black, right?
No, I see black on gold.
Black on
Gold. That's fucking
Black on
crazy.
gold.
It's a Steelers jersey.
Seriously. Are you looking through your
See,
T-shirt?
this is what bothered me. Like, this wasn't that many years ago that I bring up something about Chicago's colors, and I said that they were black and orange, and people were like, "What?" And I didn't know that that was a navy blue, the Bears uniform.
Oh, the Bears.
I always saw it as straight black.
Now, when you put on the specs, do they change? Does the colors change?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good call. Not at all.
Not at all.
That's a good. Now, when I put on my shades, I can kind of. Let's go over here.
So does it give you the answer?
No, it's
There is
each
no
person
Oh
sees
God,
it
this is going
differently.
to drive me bananas.
This is what the
This is
world
going to be
is
one of
really
those
like.
things.
All right, here, I'm going to give you a breakdown. 38% see black and blue and white. 21% see green and gold.
Okay.
There are 38% who see, 29% see black and brown. So
Whoa.
even though he's the minority here, more people than see it the way we see it. And then 6% see green and white. Now, here's some of the stuff. 38% of the people who see blue and white, more likely have the cancer gene.
What?
I was really
or
hoping
brain
for
tumor.
huge penis.
Yes. This is sweet.
The people who
Let's get a
see
Kickstarter going.
green and gold can be trusted.
Cancer gene.
Positive.
So true.
This is
about
my
me.
farewell
The blue
tour,
and white have
everybody.
erectile dysfunction. What about black and what does he get?
He runs up. He's in second place. The black and brown is at 29%.
That means you see BET, correct?
Yeah, and then
So you loved Chris Rock's monologue.
yeah,
I did. I'm a big fan. He was definitely wearing white.
Yeah,
That I know.
he was.
That I
Big
know.
time.
Yeah.
Do you have fantastic vision? Because I've got awful. I had the LASIK done and they messed
you
it up.
did. They
I got
fucked
it
up.
done when I was 16. I've had an astigmatism my whole life, and my doctor goes, "When you're 18, we're going to do this surgery." And I put it off till I was 20. I'm 36 now. About 4 years ago, my vision started getting terrible, absolutely terrible. And I went and, so one eye is nearsighted and one is farsighted now. So they call that monovision.
Yeah.
So I have no like depth perception. So I have to wear either glasses or contacts.
Are you concerned that people are right on top of you or they're far away?
I'd rather them be far away and be pleasantly surprised.
I think it would be funny. You're just at at a cocktail party and the person next to you you're shouting to. Hey!
Come over here!
Standing on your foot.
Where's food? You're yelling in my face. By the way, this microphone smells incredible. This is the great smell my mic.
That was Emma.
I'm going to.
Is Emma?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys wash these? This smells like
hand wash.
Never.
You know what? That microphone
Fresh,
smells like Emma Woman's girlfriend.
Oh,
And-
bottle that. I'll buy a.
Careful, underage girlfriend.
Oh,
because it's not
never
a crime
mind.
if it's a
When she's
woman.
18, we'll do the surgery.
One of the many benefits.
Can you get that on a T-shirt? I would love that.
That's called softball practice. Did you slam your fucking water down enough? What are you in a cowboy fucking bar in the 1860s?
I'll have another.
Meat face, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I see black and brown, and if you see any white, that's just a reflection of light. Goodbye, Chris Stanley.
Well, here's the
Weird,
deal.
eerie.
Yeah, here's the deal on that. It's green and kind of a gold, and that's the end of the story.
It's your show, man.
Well, my work here is done.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right. See you,
God
buddy.
bless.
Thanks for
Thank
popping
you for
through.
that.
Thanks for playing.
Anytime. Anytime.
Wow.
Actually, he's smoking with Chris, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, he's the Bob Hope.
Yeah.
He's a free
Never know when he's going to run in.
We've also got Mike Fenoya in studio with us. Mike's performing at Crackers at Broad Ripple in Indianapolis this Thursday, March 3rd through Saturday, March 5th. Go to crackerscomedy.com for tickets. Mike's new show, Finer Things with Mike Fenoya, airs Friday on the Anthony Cumia Network.
No, did you have to pass a conservative testing on that?
It was like one of those gun games. You remember, like when the cop training, when someone will pop in a window and like, would you shoot him or not? It was like that.
I had to take a test down there, and it was basically, are you a Reagan Republican or an Eisenhower Republican?
Right.
And then come on in. Nothing else.
I'm about as independent as you can get. I'm not really political at all.
You voting this time, though?
Oh, I vote every time.
Yeah.
I vote, and in fact, I've voted every way. I voted independent in college because I wanted Ralph Nader to get 5% because if a third party got enough votes, they'd be able to take part in the debate. Clearly didn't happen. Then I voted for Bush for his second term because it was after 9/11, and I thought Kerry was not like leaps and bounds above him, and I thought it would maybe look bad if we had a changing of the guard and when we were in this war against terror. And then I voted for Obama. And this time, yeah. And then this time I don't know, man. I'm kind of sort of to me it's Coke and Pepsi. It's Red Sox, Yankees. It's all just rich people that, you know, I'm feeling the burn a bit just because I kind of think that America can use a little bit of Vermont. I don't know if it's Bernie or if it's just Vermont that I love. You know what I mean?
I'll just give you some bad news. You're not going to get any opportunity to vote for Bernie.
I know.
Because that's over after tomorrow.
I know. Yeah,
Jews down south don't get a lot of votes.
No.
Right.
And then you got between Clinton and Trump, the most, as they call it, the most hateable election in the history.
Yeah, how do you, like, what do you do there? Trump just, I feel like I just see Biff from Back to the Future too.
Kind of like Biff, though.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just going to be crazy. Like,
I mean, when he was in that hot tub watching an Eastwood movie, I'm like, I have done that. You know, just sitting there with a couple of broads, fucking whacked out. No, watch this scene.
Hey, Lorraine.
Yeah.
Say hey to your mom for me.
That should be his focus now. It's just like, you like Biff, right? Well, then you're going to love my America.
If he did
like either
a
of
fucking commercial in a hot tub, he'd have my vote right there.
Nah.
It'd be over for me.
What do you think? Do you,
Well, I think, we got
are you one of each, or do you like fall to one side in particular? Or?
Well, you know, I've never voted for anyone who won an election until the first Obama. I wanted to send a message to the Bush family that I was sick of them. I've always been a third party voter.
Yeah.
Bernie would have been very interesting to me.
So you're putting him, he's done.
He's done after tomorrow. He's not running as a third party. He's running against Clinton down south. It's not going to happen. Trump is still very interesting to me. I think it could be very fun. I think it could be that thing that I want, which is going to be the fuck up America and force us to break into many city-states.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
I'm going to Benningtonville.
Yeah.
I trust it. You know what I think? I think that we are so far under our own shit that it's going to take a huge shift in consciousness to even begin to start to fix any of the problems.
Well, you
so
got to slow down a little bit. And last night was a perfect example of where the country is. Chris Rock, was he funny? Yes. Did he change a single person's mind? No. Because when you're fucking talking down to people, and both sides do it, you don't learn that way. You know what I mean? You just don't learn. And I think if you were anybody who slightly, to me it looked like black people cry because they don't get enough awards. It seemed like the stupidest thing when it really is a jobs thing and an art. You can't talk about art in a corporate town. It's a fucking industry town in the same way that Detroit was an industry town.
Yeah.
We know enough. Now, you want to see a fucking Spider-Man movie and all you assholes come up? We'll make fucking Spider-Man movies every day. They'll fucking give you whatever you want if you show up.
Absolutely.
I guess the smarter move for the message would have been more to devalue the Oscars rather than to put such a high value on them to say, we want equal representation of the Oscars instead of just being like, look at how stupid this is. They don't even have the right representation.
You know, it's funny. I do transcendental meditation. I've been doing it for a couple of years, and I meditated last night, and it happened to just be right before the awards show. And it just cracked me up watching these adults play a kid's game. It
was babyish.
Like, really, it was hilarious watching, that would look like, remember when, a little girl, did you used to do this when you would run into the living room and be like, everybody, come on, I'm going to go do a show. And the whole family had to circle you to watch it. You just get paid for it now. That's great. But I was just watching, and I'm thinking, the whole consciousness thing now is just so off its rocker. I mean, we're so far deep into the crap that, racism is so prevalent and it's so stupid. I mean, really, there's nothing, it's so fucked up. Nobody's doing anything really to be like, can we put this to bed? Can we just finally put this shit to bed?
There's no discussion about it. It's the same shit. Yelling ridiculous. Bumper sticker stuff. Now, you've been in TM for a couple of years, right?
3 years, yeah.
What's your mantra? So I can have it for myself.
I can't tell you.
I don't want to spend $2,000 for one.
I didn't realize that those were private. Your mantra is private.
They're
too?
private. But, and I think the reason why is because, if you kind of try to pick your own, you'll subconsciously maybe pick I would have probably said chicken parm, and then 3 minutes in I'll be like, I'm starving, and it takes me off my meditation. But I absolutely love it. I think it's the greatest thing in the world to do.
What'd you pay for your mantra?
It was a little over $1,000, and it was my wife gave it to me as a gift. That's nice. And it's the greatest. I think that was her way of saying calm down, But I'll tell you, to take 20 minutes twice a day and just escape this reality is. I think everybody should be doing it.
I do. I had one of my own, and I felt like it worked. It was Kill Stanley. Why don't it just be Kill Stanley? Kill Stanley.
Yeah,
very nice.
I must kill
now,
the Queen.
Stanley.
Yeah, everybody can use.
Shouldn't have given that thing away.
The Queen. We had a good time at Jay's special, huh?
Oh hell yeah!
We had great seats. We had the old man and the Muppets seats, right up in the top side. Man, what a beautiful place!
I hear the second show was even better than
the second.
First.
Yeah, you were at the first. That's right. The second one. I travel with Jay a lot. I'm his roommate. I love him. I heard in his voice, calm and relaxation, and you guys ready for a fucking show? I just heard it dropped an octave, and just that hall was it felt like a wedding. It had that feel of we're all here to celebrate a good thing, and he leading up to it during the day, on Sunday, we just played hockey, and I broke his balls and tried to just kid around about. Just to keep him loose, and I love Jay so much. He's been a mentor and a best friend to me, and I'm so happy for him.
Well,
he really
there were times during the show I'm laughing because he's funny, but then I would just think to myself, this was something that he worked for to be at a point with somebody and share with them that their more or less dream was coming true, the thing that they were working for. And I was looking, he had his mom there, his dad there, his stepdad, and see them feeling that. It was just such a great night.
Yeah. You want to know what's hilarious too? And after the show, there was an after party. And did you get to meet his stepdad or his?
No, but I saw them looking
what a
at
character.
He was talking about both their penises.
His stepdad, yeah. So his stepdad's like holding court downstairs, and he's like, "I'm the guy with the little dick." He's just being like, "That's me." Like he just owned it, and like really. But he just tells stories to people like you went to high school with him. Like he references people in the story like him just as well. He's like, "You remember Ronnie with the pickup truck, right? So we're riding in the back, we're hauling a piano, and it's like, what the fuck you talking about?"
I hate to correct you. His stepdad had the big dick, and his real dad is the small dick.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Maybe you just didn't want to give it away for the special.
I didn't want to give it away.
Where was the after party at?
Downstairs.
Because a couple people told me they thought they got food poisoning.
I ate the steak and cheese, and they were delicious.
All right, good.
They were from 99 miles to Philly.
Oh, I like that.
Another place, yeah.
Did you know?
It tastes like it's 99 miles to Philly. That's what it tastes like.
You got to be 99 feet from a toilet to. Did you know that Al Capone used to hang out at Webster Hall? The guy that gave us a tour of the place when Jay was picking what place to do it said below the basement they found a speakeasy that Capone used to hang out in, and downstairs in Webster Hall there's all these Tiffany chandeliers, and apparently they took them from his little hangout down there. I love that. Like we were talking about earlier, the other, like looking at going in and thinking about like the people that performed at Webster Hall, and Jay gets to sit and do comedy. Like the walls are just full of like such
This
great.
is what amazes you about fucking New York, is a lot of times they'll just move on and not give a shit. There's a place like up on 55th where all those old Atlantic records were done. So fucking Ray Charles is recording there. There's not even a sign. And you walk past this place every day. No one fucking brings it up. There's so many rooms,
Ron,
like that.
Literally across the diagonal from where I grew up listening to Grateful Dead bootlegs, Jimi Hendrix bootlegs, all this stuff. The Filmore East
should be a national fucking treasure.
2nd Ave and 6th, and it's an Apple Bank now. And I'm walking by and I see a sign that said Bill Graham Way. And there's a rhinestone, like Grateful Dead and Allman Brothers and Black Sabbath and all. And I was like, holy shit, this is the Fillmore. And you walk in, and in the lobby, they've got pictures of all like the crowds and,
amazing.
The guy, there's a hairdresser right next to my apartment. And I went and I talked to him outside all the time. And he said he used to go to shows there, and it was like $4 for a ticket. And you'd see like Frank Zappa and the Moody Blues and Procol Harum and all, and you'd get like a chocolate milk and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich outside, and like it was just an incredible.
Well, Bill Graham
experience.
is one of the people one of the reasons why we watch shows the way we watch them, because he thought it's got to bring some kind of value.
Yep.
But I always think one of the amazing rock stories is, why did the Lower East Side of New York embrace this Southern rock and blues band out of fucking Georgia? I mean, those guys came in literally talking like we don't even have Southern people who talk the way the Allman Brothers talk. What I mean? They were cut off from any kind of other culture, and they were fucking beloved here, down to the fact that, just last year they're still playing residency shows
Beacon
in New
Theater.
York. Yeah,
Beacon at the Beacon.
That's going on forever.
Yeah.
And it all had to do with those guys being embraced on the Lower East Side. It's amazing to me.
It's pretty incredible too when you would look at some of the, like the history of some rock bands. Like the Dead would do like 9 or 10 nights at MSG or 12 nights at the Boston Garden. And it's just wild that and they'd sell out every night. And it's just really incredible.
Oddly to the same people.
That's me. I did all 4 Fish shows at Madison Square Garden for New Year's Eve, and it was, I'm tired. I think I don't know if I could do it like I used to anymore.
Can't keep it going.
200 and something Fish shows now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
It's crazy. But you know what? I saw the world. I met Ken Kesey at one of them, which changed my life. I got to interview him, and I met so many incredible people. Camped out in the Everglades and in Gorge and Washington and Red Rocks and all these places I would have never saw. So it's good, but it's like I can't do it anymore. By the 3rd night, I was drinking a coffee, sitting in the nosebleeds.
Here's what's happening. You and Peyton Manning are starting to lose the stuff. You don't
I don't have Papa John's dough to fall back on.
You don't have the same pop to your fucking passes you used to.
No, absolutely not. But I love it.
Mike Fenoya is in studio with us. Mike is performing at Crackers at Broad Ripple in Indianapolis this Thursday, March 3rd through Saturday, March 5th. Go to crackerscomedy.com for tickets. Mike's new show, Finer Things with Mike Fenoya, airs Friday on the Anthony Cumia Network. Go to mikefenoya.com for all additional dates.
I'm looking at a lot of people who had different colors on that piece.
On the jacket?
Yeah, on the jacket, just all different colors come up. You talk about something that's trippy or scary, or we're talking about racism, but here's a fucking metaphor of how all of us do not see the world in the same way.
Yep.
And until it was pointed out to us, right, we would have assumed that everybody saw it the same way we did.
Right.
And it's frustrating, right? Like, Chris, don't you want to, like, shake them and be like, it's blue and white?
This is my reality is this thing's blue and white, and it freaks me out that people are seeing black, and especially Vito seeing black and brown or whatever.
Yeah, and to find out that he's not a small percentage of people are seeing it that way.
Let me walk back.
Yeah, could that have something to do with
almost like
it?
blue, you know, you can see that,
Yeah.
but fucking black.
But there's no way, more than anything, that's not white. Like, it's like, that's a seafoam. It's
So
a
white.
seafoam green to me,
Ooh.
which is bluish green, but I would say more green than blue. But that is like, almost, off-white to gold kind of look.
If we had to Sherwin-Williams it, I would say it's like a gunmetal blue. Or like a Bunker Hill, maybe they call it.
Now, did that change your perspective at all, being farther away? Not at all?
No, because it did with the dress before.
Right. Now, I think this is interesting, as I remember you and I saw the dress differently, but here we see the jacket same.
You know what? Try even Google Images, because sometimes there'll be a bunch of people who will put up pictures of something, and then you can see it differently in one picture.
So other examples like the jacket?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you just put up the jacket and then hit Google Images, maybe it'll no, you're just looking at
just
you look
jackets
like you're
you
trying
want to buy.
steal stuff.
The movie's coming up.
I wonder now. I can't stop thinking about what the most expensive thing on Amazon is. Like, how much of that total is one thing?
One item.
You know what I mean? Like, what could the
Especially
most
when
expensive?
it comes to $14 billion.
Can you buy like expensive cars? Can you buy like a Lamborghini on Amazon? Like, is Amazon becoming like the back pages of a newspaper where you can find anything?
The only thing I ever look for on Amazon is books. And now that I have my Kindle, I do that. All right, see the one on the right? I see that as more being blue, and the one on the left
now I
as
see
being green.
What
I see green and gold on the left.
Yeah.
now.
That's what we're seeing.
That's what we're seeing.
And now I can see what you were seeing. They're kind of obviously messed with the contrast enough that now we can clearly see.
Wow. So the one on the left is still gold
still
and
green.
because the one on the right is still blue and white to me.
Yeah.
So the one on the left, I see what you were seeing.
And the one on the right, we see what you were seeing.
Weird.
Ebony and ivory. What about you, Chris? You see
I still see him as both blue and white. This one is just brighter. It's still
fucked up.
so on the left,
You're
it's still
fucked
blue and
up.
white.
Yeah, that's just now I'm not. Now I'm against you.
You know what?
You're the crazy one.
You don't know your colors. That's what we figured
On the
out.
left, what do you see?
Well, now I don't see black. Now I see green on the left, and I'm really confused.
Now, what do you see on the right?
On the right, I see blue.
All right, so you see it the proper way.
Now I see it
the
green.
two proper ways.
So it's all about having something to compare to.
Yeah.
Just like racism.
Joey, what about you? Yeah.
I still see green and gold.
On the left or
Yeah,
on both
of
pictures?
them, yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird. See, maybe it's now we're the type of people that can understand other people's perspectives.
Well, yeah.
Yes, that's right. We're open-minded.
We're
no more cancer gene.
also known as good people or evolving people.
Oh.
I believe in the future there will only be our kind of people left.
God willing.
I love it.
Me and the joys of the world will just be wiped out.
Well, no, you could be living in the mountains, scraping in dirt, eating bugs, you know?
Like you've always wanted to.
Almost returning to your animal state.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, man. Embrace the skin God gave you. Yeah, I totally see different now. That's crazy.
In fact, it's a very lovely color that you guys were
Yeah,
seeing.
you
It's
guys
quite-
were lucky.
I wonder if they
very
sell.
cheery
Yeah,
looking.
do they sell that on Amazon? Can I buy that one on the right? That'd be great.
Send that to the iBank because They want to see the two pictures too, and put up the two pictures. By the way, let's show Mike that picture that was taken over at the Creek in the Cave last night.
Yeah, by Mindy Tucker.
Ah, the talented Mindy Tucker.
Isn't
She's
she
great.
She's man, I'll tell you, she makes an ugly person beautiful. I don't know how the hell she does it.
Now she took that shot, and this is during the Chris Rock monologue.
Is there any way to blow that up?
Yeah. You'll just see
all white people.
Just all white people having the time of their life, though.
I think I'm going to stop saying the word. You know, like I hate the word epic and I hate the word random. I'm going to stop saying black and white, I think.
It's just a night of people cracking up, but it almost looks like a posed picture, like Wes Anderson might have put this up.
Yeah, really. Yeah, this looks like it would be on the wall of a David Lynch show.
By the way, did you see the Wes Anderson dioramas that some guy has done a bunch of?
I did.
Dioramas.
That's the Creek in the Cave right there, huh?
Yeah,
that's where
great.
that was taken. Yeah, it looks like every open mic.
All the open micers are together.
Yeah.
Just feeling like we're all in the same business as Chris Rock.
Yeah, let's laugh so no one judges us.
Yeah, this artist is doing a series where I think she's just doing all different types of like paper-made dioramas, but they're really, really intricate. And so she's doing certain shots from different movies, and she's done a bunch of Wes Anderson, which is crazy because his films kind of look like little dioramas anyway.
You know, I only made one diorama in my life, and I got an A for it, and it was for the book, The Call of the Wild. I was in 5th grade, and I had taken a shoebox, glued a hard plastic wolf into it, and then I had like something that was a tree in there, and that was it. Beautiful. And I took it in, and I got an A, and I stood there, and I was like, this is amazing. I remember I took it home and tried to show it to my family, like, I don't know whether you saw this A. And my dad goes like this, an A for what, a shoebox?
Yeah. Dioramas were so fun. I did one for the Salem witch trial. I made one.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah.
I
The Witch of Blackbird Pond.
I feel like I did a ton. For a while there, I think I had a teacher who was just running out of ideas. She'd just be like, another diorama on this, please.
That's the greatest thing about being a teacher of young kids is you could just come up with so many like stoned ideas.
Just say read a chapter.
Glue some cotton balls to a rock and make it into something fun.
I just felt bad I didn't save that old Call of the Wild. You know, reused it for you.
I would have loved to have seen that.
Now, Chris, you don't seem like you've ever made a diorama.
I've never made a diorama. I don't remember.
That's probably why you see things differently.
Are you
Never.
kidding?
I never
They're
made a
so much fun to make.
Are they?
The amount of joy you get just stepping back and seeing this little world you've created.
Well, I felt like after that I could have been a window dresser in one of the great New York department stores.
One of those old Italian marionettes like playing games with
But
the puppets.
I even remember thinking, like, this should be an art form. Like, I'm clearly pretty good at this.
Well, I know now looking at this, I could never do any detail work in my life. I don't like that kind of great detail that they're doing, which reminds me of Wes Anderson movies.
Yes.
It's all about these weird
Oh
details.
man, Budapest Hotel was great.
Isn't that
I really enjoyed that.
There is, and that's probably his least, famous movie out of all of them. And there are parts of that you find the texture so fucking much in that film.
Yeah,
It almost looks like that movie takes place in like an old shoebox.
it really does.
Do you remember what kind of sneaks it was?
No.
For yours? No. I always says New Balance.
Well, that'll help those arches of yours.
Yeah, wide feet.
But Chris, I feel like you've really missed out. I feel like maybe you need to make a diorama.
Do you want to do
A book report on a diorama.
What about a diorama on the Bennington show?
All
All
right.
We could just make this.
Oh
We're
my
all in
God.
here
Extra
working.
credit. Oh,
We'll
that's so
expect
great.
it
I'll help you if you
by
want.
Friday.
Okay. I have to get to an arts and crafts store.
We've got Mike Fenoya in studio with us. Mike's performing at Crackers at Broad Ripple in Indianapolis this Thursday, March 3rd through Saturday, March 5th. Go to crackerscomedy.com for tickets. And Mike's new show, Finer Things with Mike Fenoya, airs Friday on the Anthony Cumia Network.
All right, I'm going to play a little game with you guys. All right, we had the running Dick bounce video today.
Okay.
We also had one that Mike hasn't seen, and that's Jen Selter practicing her
split.
Yeah, I guess it's a split.
Please.
Are you familiar with her work?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there she is.
Hey-oh.
There she is.
Dead ass.
Wow, imagine if Dick Bounce guy did that.
Yeah, I know.
That would hurt.
Hey, we could have put them all together.
Yeah.
Now, and then of course the jacket one. What do you think the most people rush to? I'm gonna let you know this. All three were very popular today.
Okay.
But where would you think most people? Joey, you first.
Jen Selcher and that badass
cock.
Oh, the jackets.
I'm going Dick Bounce as usual.
Dick Bounce as usual.
I'm going to look at the numbers as I get them.
Please. I need
Come on, Dick Bounce.
this for the diorama.
You get a homework pass.
I'm going to give away the number 2 right away, okay?
Okay.
Dick Bounce is number 2.
Go! Definitely.
So it's Jen Selter and
the jacket.
The jacket. Who went?
Oh, you know what? The jacket wins.
Wow. You and me, right? You said the jacket. Me too. Way to go.
People getting tired of Jen
You and me, pal.
But
no, because a lot of people are at work and they
I
want to get in
believe
trouble.
Fuller House boobs is maybe even. I forgot to throw in Fuller House boobs.
Stephanie Tanner's
That's
giant
the number 1.
I didn't get to see house boobs.
Yeah, go ahead.
Pull up
No,
Stephanie's
you know who
tits,
Stephanie
please.
is from Full House?
Yeah.
She's grown up and so have her tits. And people are feeling bad online whether or not they should be looking.
They're very present.
Holy, wow, she has grown up, huh?
Yeah, she has.
Baby's all grown up.
Wow.
She grows up.
She does have, yeah, they're on full display, huh?
Yeah. They were for about 75% of that episode, so it was very distracting.
Fuller House. I'm gonna catch up on it this weekend when I'm on the road. It's on Netflix, right?
It is on Netflix, yeah, as of, I guess that was like Friday at midnight.
I watched an interesting documentary called, what the hell was it called? About eating a plant. Oh, Pure Plant Nation. So I got some blood work done, and I've got high triglycerides, which is the bad shit. That's the fat in your blood.
Okay.
So my doctor, really awesome, like hysterical old Jewish guy. And like when I was young, I had long hair and a beard, and I went to see him, and he goes, "What's your girlfriend's name?" And I was like, "I don't have one." And he goes, "Do you ever fucking wonder why?" He goes, "Look at yourself, you're a mess." So he's always been a good friend. He goes, "You got to lose weight, or else you're gonna go on cholesterol medication." So I was like, "Holy shit!" So I watched this documentary, and it was all about eating plant-based, stuff. It's in theory, it's phenomenal, but who the hell has the resources and the time and the lack of stress to eat a plant-based 100% plant-based diet all the time? It's impossible.
I think that's the hardest thing about dieting. It's not even giving up the stuff that you like to eat, but then it's like going out, buying the thing that is good for you, preparing said thing, as opposed to having a quick.
Yeah,
but you also don't get that same drugged out feeling that you get by eating protein and carbs when you're just eating plant. You'll never get that, oh, I'm stuffed.
Yeah.
All this broccoli's got me so stuffed. I'm looking for, you don't make me forget about my life.
Not another Brussels sprout. Yeah.
Vegetables cannot make me forget about the things that I've seen and done. That's the last.
Rub a steak on these corneas. That's the thing. I'll be on the road this weekend, and if I'm behind DSW and a Panera, and that's all I've got to choose from is shoes and food. What the hell am I going to eat? So it's kind of, it's fun to watch these things, and in theory, it's great. Just like making a murderer. It's like they take one point of view.
Right.
But they never do it from the guy who, you get out of the cellar at 4 a.m, there's dollar slices everywhere. What the hell are you going to do? You're
going to grab one on the way home.
Yeah. A grandma corner is my favorite.
You're I have some great quinoa in the fridge that I'm just going to wait until
these
I
kale
get
chips
there,
are calling my
and
name.
I'll just wait, and I'll feel so good when I eat it.
That's right.
You know what? This show's getting sleepy. I got to put it to bed for a couple hours. Yeah, I got to let it nap till tomorrow. Show wants to sleep. Show
I
wants
want
to
to do
sleep
another
now.
hour.
Can't do anymore. This little show's got to get up those steps and take a nap.
Please. please, one more hour.
No.
You want to stick around? We'll do it.
Can't do it.
We've had Mike Fenoya in studio with us. Mike's performing at Crackers at Broad Ripple in Indianapolis this Thursday, March 3rd through Saturday, March 5th. Go to crackerscomedy.com for tickets. Mike's new show, The Finer Things with Mike Fenoya, airs Friday on the Anthony Cumia Network. And go to mikefenoya.com for all additional dates.
That's this Friday you're on?
Yep.
I'll be watching, my
Every
friend.
Friday. Thank you, and I hope to have you on one day soon.
I love to.
Thank you.
Go through my agent's manager and see what happens there. My agent has a manager now. It's so weird.
Thank you for having
All
me,
right,
guys. I love you.
Go check out all that stuff up on the iBank today. It's all great. And we'll see you all again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!